Freya, I'm
Don't remind
coming
me.
back to stream. What's up, Eurovision Fam? And oh yeah, I'm wearing a Norway t-shirt today. A lot happened. We got a lot of news. We have a lot of reveals, a lot of new songs, a lot to discuss. Norway's gonna be
Yeah,
a pretty big topic today. At first, I wasn't wearing this shirt intentionally. Now I am. Now I am.
so we can
But
discuss what the Norwegians have done to us. You start off with Freya of all
I'll,
songs.
I'll I'm gonna try to keep it as positive as I can because I know that we share a lot of the same sentiment with people on online about the occurrences that happened in Norway. But let's also look at the silver linings. Let's also look at the ways that this could be great.
Okay. Um, a
Yeah,
pathway forward for never mind. We'll get to Norway later,
that was the
but
most
let's go ahead and
DC
just
thing you
kind of
could
give you
have started
guys,
with.
yeah. Let's just kind of give us a quick rundown on what we're talking about today. We've got 2 articles on the site,
Yeah, thank you,
2 interviews.
Augusto. Hmm.
We have Unser Lied for Liverpool. Um, I know Giorgio shows up every stream. He can tell me if I can speak German or not. So those artists were announced. The Sönvakeppnin artist came out. Guys, we're finally going to talk about Festival de Canção. I know we missed it last week. Then we have Melodi Grand Prix discussions. Pabandom Naujo for Lithuania. Malta did whatever Malta does. Supernova, Melodifestivalen, Dansk Melodi Grand Prix. And then we had the Late Late Show and Benidorm Fest because those 2 are happening this week.
I
As is
know, finally.
as is the Czech national final, but we don't have the song, so
I,
y'all are
I
in the
think
wild for that tomorrow.
I think I smelled blood in the water. Actually, I think there is at least one music video from the Czech selection that is out,
I know
as of this moment.
there's a couple of them out, but we don't know for sure
Hmm.
what songs everyone has.
Yeah, I like to see
Um,
the announcement. I like to see the actual like this is the song, you guys.
exactly. I need the announcement for everything. It's like I'm
Hmm.
not like I see rumors and I'm like I don't listen to rumors.
Hmm.
I need the
We don't do that
confirmation.
here.
Yeah, none of that.
None of that.
So let's go ahead and let's get into the stream. So, like I said, we have 2 articles on the site. Both are linked in the description box below. But
Hmm.
you want to talk about the articles real quick?
Yeah, so you guys, our editorial member Augusto went and interviewed Carmento and Alice Wonder from Benidorm this year, asking some exclusive questions from specifically the Eurovision Fam site. We're getting to know the artists and getting to know their journey so far, and just kind of trying to understand as much as we can about what's going to be happening on stage, but without revealing a ton because we still want to give them the integrity of surprising us with whatever it is they would like to deliver. So go ahead and check out Augusto's articles. They are amazing people.
Yeah. And I'm so glad we got those 2 because like they're 2 of my
They're,
favorites
they're they're
personally.
two of like the biggest ones that I was really hoping that we got.
Yeah, exactly. So from that, we're gonna go ahead and I see Georgios is here. He's saying hello from Nuremberg.
Guten Tag,
Um,
JoJo's.
hello. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about Unser Lied for Liverpool
We're
and
starting
the
off.
German the German selection here. So we're gonna go ahead and I'll name the songs and whatnot, and we'll kind of discuss the artists because we didn't listen to the
Mhm,
songs. We just kind of said we're gonna talk about the musicians and then listen later.
mhm,
Once we get closer to the actual date. So
mhm.
the first one is Will Church with the song Hold On. Then we have Frieda Gold with Alle Frauen in mir sind müde, which is a hilarious title to me. Um, you know what that means?
No, I don't. Tell me.
All the women inside of me are tired.
Yes, already yes. Anyways.
We have Patty Gurdy with Melodies of Hope,
Mhm,
Trong with Dare to Be Different, Lord of the Lost with Blood and Glitter, Renee Miller with Concrete Heart, Aniko Russo with Once Upon a Dream, and Lonely Spring with Misfit.
mhm.
I'm honestly like upset that we only have one song in German. Like I'm over here as the German language defender.
Yeah,
Like
no, seriously, it's just one, and out of the 8 songs that we have, I don't like that ratio, you know?
no, I don't know why Germans are afraid of singing in German. German's a nice language. Okay, I
It,
like
it can be
again.
really good.
I'm a German defender. I spent so much of my life learning German. Like let me have a reason to use it, y'all.
Mhm.
Other than the fact that like because just all Germans want to speak English with you all the time.
But that
Um,
doesn't help us.
Yeah. And we have a comment here from Ariana, so we can
Mhm.
talk about, kind of what we've got going on. Ariana says, Frida Gold was an awesome surprise. So I'm going to guess you're a Frida Gold listener. Honestly, out of all of these acts, the one I'm the most familiar with is Lord of the Lost,
Mhm.
because they kind of came out when I was in my German rock phase, specifically like my German glam phase. I've had weird phases in my
Mhm.
life. So yeah, I mean, we can start with that because that's the one song in German.
Mhm.
Yeah, like I know that as a group they've had like 2 gold albums. They've had one song go platinum. Yeah,
I mean, this looks great for Unser Lied in Liverpool.
yeah,
Like, to
it's a
have
good
big
sign.
artists like that really care, that does mean a lot.
Yeah, and it's
I'm
not like
I
it's.
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say it's not like it was with Cascada.
Cascada. I will still go out for drinks with that woman. But
Oh my
I
gosh.
actually did listen to the songs last night. I had some time and did listen to them.
Oh, see, I haven't touched them yet because I'm still
Mhm.
kind of like backlogged.
Yeah, no, like I didn't think I was going to be able to do it, but I do have a couple in there that I think would not get lasts,
Yeah.
and that is a big. I'm counting on them because I mean Germany still has a ton of great artists that just don't go to Eurovision. So
Well, I mean, look at
hello,
like how
friends.
Germany's
I guess
been
so.
before. Augusto Dominguez is the one who wrote the 2 articles we mentioned earlier.
Yes. Check them out.
So say hello to Augusto and read his articles. Again, link in the
Mhm.
description box and also on our channel, EurovisionFam.com. Yeah, I'm honestly going into this positive,
Mhm.
because I haven't listened to the songs yet, but I think the delegation is trying to at least not get a 0.
Yeah, yeah, and I appreciate the fact that the national selection is varied.
Yeah, because I'm
It is
looking
varied.
here.
We don't. This isn't no Lavina perfect life situation. Still the worst national final I've ever seen. Like
That's the worst
ever
one.
seen, ever seen. Like I blocked it out
Like
mentally.
I'm just looking here at the songs.
Mhm.
We've got like a couple of pop people. We've got I can't believe we have a song that's heavily featuring the hurdy gurdy, but here we are.
Patty
Um,
Gurdy, yeah, she's a queen just for that.
that's an instrument I was not expecting to have heavily featured.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I mean, we got some. I don't know. I haven't listened to the songs, like I said, so
Mhm.
I'm kind of a little bit. You know what, Germany? I think you're heading in the right direction there.
It's all right. We still got time with Germany, so maybe by the time that we're on the stream and talking about the songs in detail, I'll even have something different to say than what I'm thinking right now, because I do know a couple of them are growers as well. We should have said soap
Georgios.
last year. Soap. Oh my god. Uh,
What if she brought In and Out Burger for the whole
then she would have changed
stadium?
Europe. She would have changed Europe. You guys don't understand. In and Out is the superior burger. Just
No, it's Five
point blank.
Guys.
Period.
We can have this conversation. We need
This
someone
is
from Texas to weigh in about Whataburger, because
no
like
that
those
that
are
is
our
true.
regional
Hmm.
fast food burger places that we all argue about in
We need to
America.
just satisfy that rivalry here and now.
And I guess the Midwest has Culver's.
Never had that.
My
It's supremacy out here. It's In and Out supremacy.
Culver's is not bad,
I
but
would
yeah.
try. I mean, I would try any
Anyways,
burger place. I would try any burger place,
but
but
yeah.
we'll
Anyways,
see. We'll see.
I don't know how
Why are
can
we
we
talking
tie
about
this
this?
in.
Soap.
Burgers.
Soap.
It's a German word. Okay.
Yeah, it is a German word.
And then they have TikTok acts um that can be
Yeah.
voted on. And we have Bertul, Leslie Cleo, Ike Heftgold from
Hmm.
fall up to spring, Jonah, and then some other people. What were their names?
Hmm.
Sorry. Michikata, I don't know how to say this. Michi Katazawi and Andre Katawazi. Oh, it's probably Katawazi for both of those. They look like they're probably brothers. Michi and Andre Katawazi and Nashup.
Hmm.
Um, I kind of like looked through the TikToks.
Yeah, I actually did see I don't believe the full TikToks, but snippets of each of the ones that were within this category. interesting how they have this category. It's really interesting. I like how TikTok has suddenly become such a big signifier on what happens with the show now. Like
I mean, because it's like TikTok kind of is what drives the music industry at this point.
it is,
Like,
yeah.
there's a reason why, like, last year we had all those musicians who were like, I have to just make a freaking TikTok because my label said so.
And they're unhappy to
Like
do
it.
that, but it benefits them to some degree in the long run, financially. So, like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be an inseparable part of the Eurovision journey from now forward. But I'm optimistic because who knows?
Mhm.
Maybe we might find someone who's young and a genius. You know?
Yeah. I mean, like, and I watched the video for Betul.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna lie, I was feeling it. I was like, you know, this girl made a whole stage, has her friend doing backup dancing for her.
That was like €2 in a dream. But that is this is what Eurovision is for. You know, Eurovision is to like pick a schoolgirl like her and was like, "You can be a star," and then who knows? That might actually happen.
I mean, I just like I was watching it. I was like, I like this. It was the what was that song from last year at Melodifestivalen? Dandy Dance's staging. Oh, that was 2 years ago, wasn't it? It was Dandy Dance.
Oh my
Oh, I
god, yeah,
loved
that
it.
was.
Oh, it was so good. I'm like out of the box. Remember that show? Um
Oh my gosh. You have to okay, so yeah, I watched that show, but I was barely cognizant of that show. Like I'm
I sing the
late and
song at the end
PBS
of this. Like
child.
if I leave the house, I sing that song to my dogs all the time. But yeah, anyways,
Oh wow.
kind of like wrapping up,
Anyways,
just wrapping up Germany here from Ariana. Feels like a better year for Germany, though. Still very safe sounds. I think that's what I'm think. Go ahead,
yeah,
Minsley, as
I
well.
think that's what I think too. I mean, it is more diverse, it is riskier, but this is still cold bread.
I mean, it's a German breakfast. It's an open faced sandwich with some meat and cheese.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
On some really dark, really cold bread on a
I
really
want,
dark, really cold morning.
dude. Like now you're making me hungry. Like I could go for like specifically like a really get some like rye bread
Mhm.
or pumpernickel, either one. You toast it lightly, put some brown schlager on that with some onions and some mustard. Oh, I'm here for it.
Damn, you are a German girl.
I just that's the most Midwestern thing I consume. And I
I see
agree with
that, I see
Augusta
that.
real quick. I stream the hell out of Dandy Danza. I need more Danny in my life. Yes. Like that was a bop. I'm sorry. That was a bop.
I mean, love Danny, love his personality. His Melfest songs though. I liked his like 2016 like soul music when he would like try to be putting out like gospely pop anthems like So Som I Himlen, like that was lit, but Danny Danza, that wasn't for me. Neither was Amazing, I believe that was 2012. Was that the title of the song? Amazing?
I don't remember.
Or something like that. But yeah, why did he come up again? Why are we talking about Danny?
Oh no, because we were talking about like the tools
Oh,
backing
Batul, yeah.
cardboard boxes and her friend.
I mean,
Um,
it was choreographed though. She put together a dance, and it was nice. It was actually quite nice to look at.
and we're gonna wrap it up with Germany with this statement from Georgios Papadopoulos with what the German broadcasters improved this year is that they've made it kind of more democratic with
Mm,
picking the slot, the I guess that's Land of the Lost, that you meant for that one, streamed and hyped songs on TikTok and Spotify and so on. I think when I was looking into these things, that Lord of the Lost, they did have it's like number one, like the album that the song is from is number one on like charts, so
mm,
that's a positive. And it's not like what you'd expect for a German selection. But
mm-mm.
let's go ahead and let's head over to the artist announcements for Sönvakeppnin. You want to go ahead
Yes.
and read those for us?
Okay, so I'm gonna be working off my best pronunciation from when I vaguely learned Icelandic syllables in 2016-ish. So these are the 10 acts and artists in Iceland with their English translated songs. So if you guys don't remember, in Iceland, traditionally their For the semifinals, they perform in Icelandic, and for the final, they would perform in English, but that can be opted in or out.
Well, it's whatever language you're going to be performing at Eurovision in is the language you perform at the final in.
Yeah. But this last year, they decided to perform in Icelandic, and that was very special. That was so special because we never get to hear Icelandic anymore. These are the 10 acts this year, though. So the first one is Bragi with Stundum Snust Heimurinn Gegn Þér, with the English title being Sometimes the World is Against You. Moa with the song Glötuð Ást, which is Lose This Dream. Benedict singing Thora, which is Brave Face. Celebs singing Domsdagsdans, which is Doomsday Dancing. Diljá singing Lifandi Inni Mér, which is Power. Kristin Cecilia singing Obigðir, which is Terrified. Langiseli Oskugarner singing the song Okay. It's the same in English and Icelandic. Silja Rós and Kjalar will be singing Jeg Stíð Þína Bráð, which is Together We Grow. Ulfar singing Betri Maður, Impossible. And finally, Siga Usk singing Gleyma þér og dansa, which is Dancing Lonely. Have you heard any of these yet? Have you heard any snippets? Like, what? Do you have any thoughts on these songs yet?
I don't have any thoughts on the songs yet because, again, I'm really backlogged. I honestly,
all new faces.
It's a lot of new faces. I was expecting to see more familiar faces.
What does Iceland keep getting new artists, like literally at least 10 every year? How?
I mean, I feel like at this point, everyone in Iceland is either or including a musician, a professional athlete, and then they have a day job. Like, I just feel like that's what Iceland is at this point. I mean, even here we have someone who's a professional soccer player. It's like soccer player and singer. It's like a lot of hyphenated occupations in Iceland. Yeah.
It's in the water out there or something.
I mean, it's a small population. You're gonna rotate through, and you're gonna see. I think everyone in Iceland is obligated to compete in Sönvakeppnin at one point or another.
Yeah, they just get the email from Hera Bjork. It's kind of like being conscripted.
Who sends the email to Hera Bjork then?
Oh, she generates it.
She's like, oh, we only got 9 submissions this year. I guess I gotta be the 10th one whenever she pops up.
She's like, dang it, I was gonna go on vacation, but you know what?
Fine, I guess I'll compete. We have a comment from Ariana with, haha, I feel Malta's like that too.
Malta's very, very similar, yeah. Where do you keep getting new people? Like, where? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's like jury duty.
Yeah. It literally is like jury duty.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
I feel like there are more Icelandic people in Sönvakeppnin than there are in Iceland.
It's like the joke when people are like, for like the music video for Think About Things, people are like, oh, that's the entire population of like Eastern of like Western Iceland up there. I'm like, okay.
But they also like, it's also a lot of good musicians too. Even like
it is. It's like there's something in the water because the language also just sounds so good when it's sung.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful musical language, and I hope that they always send songs in Icelandic. They won't because they're Scandinavian and they by default hate their own language, but less so than the other Scandies.
I'm gonna say it. Out of all the Nordics, they don't fear their language the most.
Yeah,
that's Sweden. Sweden. If you guys have never listened to the songs from the 60s, there was not a language rule prior to Sweden deciding they wanted to send a song in English in like 65 or 64, one of those 2 years, and it was bad. I mean, and then we had a language rule.
I mean, that did benefit Sweden in the long run because they had a ton of great records in Swedish language.
Anytime they get the opportunity to sing in English, Sweden's going to sing in English. Why? I don't know. But they do.
Yeah.
Like, what was the last song we had in Icelandic?
That would be last year, but prior to that, it would be Hatari.
Oh, you're right. I'm like, you're right. Last year was in Icelandic. Hatari was in Icelandic. Prior to that, Egaleaf.
Yeah,
I'm pretty Icelandic.
Yes, yeah. Egaleaf was the last time. 13.
That was like 13. So in the last 10 years, they sent 3 songs in Icelandic.
Mhm.
That's more than Norway. That's more than
I mean,
Sweden. That's
Denmark
more
is
than
the only one who has met that margin with literally one song in the last 10 years that spoke
no.
their language.
Finland, 2015.
Shoot, you're right. I forgot. I know Pita. Yeah.
I love that song. I'm sorry. I'm a
It grew on me a
defender.
lot. It grew on me a lot. I don't hate it.
But yeah, I think Iceland has options, and we will see where it goes. We'll talk more in depth about Iceland later on.
Mhm.
Because
It's
they're
good
one of the
because
last.
like they're still fresh in my mind too. So I do want to sit with them and be able to concisely say what I want.
Yeah, and they're one of the last national finals of the year.
Mhm. Ooh.
So let's talk about the last national final of the year because we missed out on them last week. Festival da Canção. And yes, it's the last one of the year because it ends after everyone else goes home.
So Festival de Canção. Do you start? Because
Okay.
I still need to
Here's what we'll
decide
do.
exactly who I'm talking about. You you please go.
Okay, give me 1 second. I have to yell at my dog. Hold on.
I will read off the semi. So you guys, in this competing semifinal in Festival de Canção that we're going to be seeing on Saturday will be April Ivy singing Modovo, Bolia singing Sonhos de Liberdade, Turkey singing Encruzilhada, Claudia Pascual singing Nashi Maria, Esapova singing Sapatos de Cimento, Mimicat singing Ai Coração, Moya singing Too Much Sauce, Neon Soho will be singing Endless World, Saul performing Viver, and You Can't Win Charlie Brown singing Contraste Mudo.
Okay.
I probably switched
Brenna,
pronunciation from Brazilian to Castilian terribly. I know, I'm awful.
it's
Anyways.
cool. Let's just talk about our 3 artists from the first semi. Like who you would pick. I guess, do you want me to go first?
Yeah,
I'm
please.
gonna
I'm
go
still
first.
deciding. I'm still deciding.
Okay, I picked mine out last night. I stayed up late for this. Bolha Sonhas de Libertad. I'm sorry, Bolha with the song Sonhas de Libertade. Love this one.
Oh my
It
goodness.
sounds like something my grandpa would listen to, and I mean that as an absolute compliment.
Mhm.
It's I feel like I'm in a jazz club. I feel like I'm in some kind of
Yeah.
underground. Or no, I don't feel like I'm underground. I specifically feel like I'm sitting on the top of the Kennedy Center doing one of their summer concert series. They have like local jazz bands and stuff, and I'm just watching a jazz band jam for like a
Mhm.
good for those 3 minutes. I want more. Like it's one of those things like I feel warm, I feel satisfied. I'm so like, oh, I absolutely love
Yeah.
that one. And that's like it's
It's
something
an
my grandpa
expert
would love.
composition. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's one thing about FTC. It's just like there's so much mind paid into the actual composition of the song. And with jazz, it is such minute, tiny details that are very, very specific. And I felt so immersed by this song. Like I
Mhm.
completely agree. It feels like a jazz club. It feels like it just by in my left ear, I'm gonna hear a woman go, "So I'm alone on my 50th birthday. Do you have any recommendations for me?" It's like that paints me in that kind of place, you know? And and I just
I'm
feel
sorry.
like
I'm like, are you being hit on by this 50-year-old woman? Like, what's happening?
I've I've had my days. I've had my days. But jazz club, no, it puts you in a jazz club where it's just like you're almost forlorning like a lost love in a way.
Oh,
It's
it's so
all
good.
about the atmosphere, Ariana. Thank you.
Yeah,
The entire song is atmosphere, and that's exactly what it should be.
exactly. I'm there for that. Do you want to
Mhm.
pick your do you want to pick your first one now? Have we
Okay, yes. So the first one I would like to talk about is "You Can't Win Charlie Brown's Contraste Mudo." This is kind of similar to the song that Lily had mentioned in that it's very instrumental forward, very soft, very based on the composition instrumental. But this kind of moves more in like how would I describe how this is different than because the other one's more jazzy. This one I almost want to say is like
This is very indie rock.
indie
When I
rock.
first listened to it, it made me nostalgic specifically for like 2004, 2005.
Mm,
If we were going to have a Portuguese version of Garden State, this would be on that Portuguese Garden State soundtrack.
mm.
I love it.
For me, I really got I don't know if anyone listens to Ray LaMontagne. I'm probably the only one like who listens to that guy. It basically like a folk singer. I found his music in Panera, like like white guy who sings folk, pretty much exactly what you would think. But that's exactly the kind of sound that I feel has really like helped. I don't know. It's just it's comforting. It's very nice, and it has that je ne sais quoi about it that kind of just draws you in. It almost feels like you're a part of a movie in a way. It feels like you're watching a movie. There's a cinematicness to it. That's the first one I want to mention because it has not stopped growing, and I've been listening to the song constantly. Like, and it's always, always, always growing every time I hear it.
When it came to like making my list for myself for the semi, I that was like my fourth one. I was like, oh, so I'm happy you mentioned that one. Just I agree with what you're saying. It feels very cinematic. It feels like I think when I was doing my first reactions, which I haven't edited and uploaded yet, I did mention the Garden State soundtrack. I mentioned like it just felt like it belongs in a coming of age story. And it
Yeah.
has that
Uh-huh.
quality. Like if I was gonna be soundtracking a movie, that would be one. I'm gonna bring up Claudia Pasquale because
You stole her from me.
Nashi Maria. I wasn't expecting this. I listened to her since finding out who she was in 2018. I've
Mhm.
continued to listen to her, and this isn't like her other stuff. It really isn't, and it was a surprise, but it was a good surprise.
Mhm.
Um, I like the sounds that are happening in the background. I like the it's it doesn't have like her usually like really twee sweet quality at all. Like the rhythmic of like the rhythm of when she's singing on the chorus, especially that conflicts nicely with like the rhythm of the drums. There's like a harpsichord in there, so it's giving me a little bit of my baroque pop. Yeah, I just found that it was like really good, and the soundscape is very satisfying and full.
Mhm. And I love the transition too between the two halves of the chorus because you have like the hook, like the Nashi Maria, and then the
Mhm.
and like that feels very the contrast is really nice. You can tell that this is someone who really thought long and hard about the fact that she's gonna put this song back in FTC because it feels almost identically as Portuguese
Mhm.
as O Jardim was. And yeah, Nashi Maria is so special. I agree. There, you took
Yeah.
it from me. You took it from me.
I'm
I was
sorry,
gonna
I didn't
say
mean
that one.
to.
It's excellent though. This is another grower though. This is one that has grown on me stupendously, even though I did love it the first time I heard it.
Yeah. Ariana, I see Claudia's song being divisive with oh my gosh, repetitiveness of it. It's really interesting sound from her, and I like it.
I love it.
Um,
I think it's
it's like
great.
to me, I usually do get distracted with repetition in music, and I'm like, I don't need to listen to this anymore. I've already heard it. But with this one, I don't have that problem. I think it's because the repetition of Nashimoria on the chorus, it feels rhythmic. It feels like it's
Mhm,
acting itself as like the rhythm section
mhm.
and as a drum. So I think that's why it doesn't bother me as much because it feels more like a choice than like, oh, I ran out of what to say.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
agree. Like this is something that would typically bother me too, but it does feel like you're paying more attention to the soundscape that it paints more so than like the actual like Nashi Media like lyrical aspect of it. And it does very nicely.
Okay. And do you want to pick another one or should I
Okay.
because
No,
I stole
I
that one
have
from
another one. So the other one I want to talk about is April Ivy, Modovo. It's just cool. It's just really cool.
you?
I
It
mean,
is.
given it does have a lot of like so Eurovision season this year has given us a lot of kind of like the same percussion sound, like the 80s, like like
Yeah.
back and forthness to it. And this has that, and this has kind of like the synthy vibe. It's fashionable, sure, but it's the melody and it's the delivery and it's like the quality of the production that has drawn me in. So like I feel like this is a much higher echelon than the other attempts at the same sound that we've had this year. It just sounds a lot more polished and it's not like the melody's not trying to be too overbearingly like catchy or trying to hook you in a way that's going to be like sticky, but it is still a really good fast-paced song. And uh, yeah, I just think I personally think it's excellent. I like my opinion of it has kind of stagnated. It's not like a massive grower like how I've said for the other ones, but it still started off pretty high, and I just think
I
it sounds
think
super fresh.
I think it sounds very 80s to me, and it's not really what I want from Festival de Canção personally. Like,
Mm,
I don't think it's a bad song at all. It's just like there's not really something about it that's super unique to me. Because we've had
mm,
this like every national final has this sound at this
mhm.
point. But yeah, I mean, and I feel kind of bad saying that, but it's like I do like the song still. It's just like when I'm coming through and I'm picking like what makes Festival de Canção special to me. That one's just not on that radar there.
I see.
I did eyeball Peter's comment earlier, and I promise you, I was waiting to pull up for a reason. So Peter Haruch says Mimi Cat is my fave. And Zapatos de Cemento is one of the most underrated songs in the national final season for me. My second and third, and maybe Claudia or Edmundo. So the reason I was waiting is because the third one I wanted to bring up was Ese Polvo Zapatos de Cemento.
Yes.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
Anthemic. This is an anthem. It's so good. It's so good.
Like, I think my notes are, it's very much a world song. It has that sound to it. I think for me, I was like, oh, this is something my dad would listen to. I keep referencing my like male relatives here. My dad would love this. Like, this is the kind of music he would put on in the car for long car rides, and we would just kind of vibe to it while like we were driving. And I absolutely love this. I think it's one of the like the way the rhythms like play off of each other, the constant harmonies. It's so fab. It's got a very world music sound. And it's just really a special song. I'm gonna highlight Peter again with underrated. I agree 100% with that statement.
I was actually gonna pick that one too, because it does have like a very worldliness to it. Like, you could hear this song like if the World Cup were being hosted, this would be like playing on the street, like with a big like band and like dancers and stuff. This is the kind of song where even if you don't know the lyrics, if you don't know Portuguese, it would still stick in your head because of just how it has that anthemic quality about it, where it just feels like everybody is meant to sing this song, not just the singers. And that is very, very special. I also like how it doesn't feel, I mean, it does feel Portuguese, but it feels Portuguese diaspora more so. It feels like it heads in the direction of Brazil, Angola, and all of the places that Portugal used to occupy. It took all of those flavors and kind of invited them together for this song, and it feels really nice. I really, really like the blending of all of the elements together. It's a very busy song, but it's meant to be that way. It's perfect the way it is. I think it's that excellent. It really is.
It makes it immersive.
Very immersive.
So what is the third one you wanted to, did you have another one you wanted to mention, or do you want to just?
I'll say it. The third one I want to mention is Ai Coração, Mimi Cat. That woman. It's just like, you ever look at someone and it's just like, wow, I'm like so attracted to you. She's just like definitely my straight crush. It's just like, wow, you're so pretty, and not to mention this song is so eventful. It is so eventful. It is like theatrical, it's jazzy, it's Portuguese, it's everything you could ever want, and it has one of the craziest high notes I've ever heard in my life. Mimi Cat, you have no idea how much I'm looking forward to this.
It's so fun. It's so fun. It's just it's like, but here's the thing. I need it to be full. Give me full cabaret baroque. Not what are you saying? Baroque burlesque. Oh my gosh, full cabaret, full burlesque show realness with this one. Like, I need it to have that theatrical energy when it's performed live, or else I'm gonna feel disappointed. But yeah, I love it. It's fantastic. Leo S says Mimi Cat. Hello, Leo S. I don't think I've seen you before.
Hey, Leo.
Yes.
Mimi Cat, yes. I'm really looking forward to Mimi Cat, especially because that studio track, I was like, the stage is changing in my head every 10 seconds. Like, I can't even imagine what the stage looks like. It's just so much going on in a great way, though. I really like Mimi Cat. Team Mimi Cat up in the house.
So let's go ahead and let's go on to that second semifinal. Do you want to list off the artists we've got competing?
Yeah. So these are the 10 acts that will be performing in the second semifinal in the following weekend. We have Bandua singing Bandeiras, Barbara Tinoco returning, singing Goodnight, The Pug Sportive singing World Needs Therapy, Edmundo Inacio singing A Festa, Ines Apenas will be performing Fin do Mundo, Ivandro singing Povo, Laura Lee singing Funambula, Teresina Landero singing E Quanto E Tempo, The Happy Mess O Impossível, and Voodoo Marmalade singing Tormento.
Okay. So do you want to go first, or should I go first? You need to think about it again?
I'll go first.
Okay.
So I think I'll just talk about my favorite song in the semi so far, you guys. Ivandro, Povo. This is my favorite song in Festival de Canção currently.
It's up there for me too.
As soon as I heard like the first seconds of guitar and then the long note at the very beginning, I was like, I'm in love.
Me too.
I'm in love with you as a man. I'm in love with this song. I'm in love with your country. I'm in love with the entire 3 minutes that are happening. I love big, romantic, dramatic, soulful ballads. Like that is something that I will always listen to. I will always eat up like that. And also just I mean, I know it's not going to be this coming semifinal, but this is the song that I personally really, really hope does well, just because the composition needs to be given the given that dignity. It's just that perfect to me, and the melody is so unique too. I don't know. I don't really know what to say other than I'm just fangirling so hard about
That
it.
was on my list of songs to bring up as well. Because there's like an intimacy with this. There's a longing with this. The guitar is amazing. The voice is amazing. Like, yeah, like I'm like that a minute and I'm like, I'm in love. Like, no, I'm good. Let's go. Like, yeah, no.
Mhm.
This one is absolutely fantastic. I have nothing but praises to sing to it.
Yeah, same.
And I can probably go on for an hour. But I'm gonna leave it at that. It was like one of mine I was gonna pick.
Mhm.
So instead I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna mention El Mundo Inicia with A Festa.
You took mine.
I love how we're in sync here. Oh, this is good. There's again, it has that like Portuguese sound of longing. It's got the
Mhm.
saudade to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it
Um,
does.
it's haunting. It's beautiful. The beat is good. The guitar is gorgeous. Again, like my notes are short. I'm like, great, perfect, no notes. Like, let's go. Yeah, I really, really enjoy that one too. Like, it's so good.
Mhm.
It's so good.
Okay, so like I think I'm gonna bring up a kind of similar but different one, Bandua Bandeiras. So
Okay.
this feels very Conan Osiris to me. I loved Conan Osiris's music after
Yeah.
Eurovision, moved completely in that direction, very Portuguese feeling, and not to mention, I love how FDC is not afraid of using irregular rhythm patterns. We get a
Mhm.
very, very irregular rhythm pattern in this song, and it is, and that's how you could pick up so much from it by just not having like a consistent like 1 2 3 4 rhythm, or like a one
Mhm.
two three rhythm. When they play with tempo like that, it requires you to kind of focus on other aspects of the song that are just more interesting, and I get more immersed by that. And this song is of no exception. I'm just praising all of these songs in very similar ways. It's really hard not to. I'm
It's
just
hard
so
not to,
impressed.
because Festival de Canção is literally the best national final. I will fight
It
you if you
is.
disagree.
Yeah.
I will fight you. Hold on.
Yeah, same. But yeah, that was the other one I wanted to bring up, I guess, instead of instead of I almost said La Festa. A
I
Festa.
know I kept
A
going, a
Festa.
festa, a festa.
La 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 la
I know I was
No,
doing it too. I
no,
was
not our
doing it
girl
too.
Luna. Not our girl Luna.
Um, all right, my third song I wanted to bring up is Ines Apenas with
Mhm.
Fin do Mundo. One moment, I'm trying to like get my dog to calm down and be
Yeah,
normal.
that one's also very special. Tempo, melody.
Again, I feel like I'm in a jazz club. It's
Yeah.
cool. It's just like it's cool. um, it's also well, I'm in a cool jazz club. It's more like I like the contrast between the verse and the chorus,
Mhm.
where the verses are very like languid and very like I don't know, it feels how do I phrase this? If you've ever been someone or known someone who is known to have depressive episodes and then go manic, it
Mhm.
feels like that composed into a song.
But
Like
but
it
beautifully.
but like yeah, it's like it's got like the core like the verses feel very sad and very like slow and languid, but then there's a hopefulness that kicks in on the chorus. It's like, yeah, I've got the energy to do this.
Mhm.
And I just really enjoy that. I think it's an interesting contrast, and I haven't really seen it before in music.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. Like the contrast is beautiful. That wasn't one of the first ones that like stood out immediately to me in my first listen through of them, but I do remember that one like being one where I couldn't imagine it on stage either because of just the two different halves of the song. Doesn't feel disjointed though, which can happen sometimes. Sometimes when you put like layer one thing on top of another, it just doesn't sound amazing. But I don't get that vibe off of this song. The third one I want to mention is one that actually kind of surprises me. So the third one I would like to mention is Lili, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I just had to wrestle something for my dog. He decided to eat through my cord for my camera, my nice camera.
Oh, scandal.
Sorry. I'm like,
That's all right.
I'm
So,
like trying to keep it because like he pulls stuff off my shelves. So he was pulling something off
baby,
the shelf, and that's what I found.
good thing you got it.
No, it's already ruined.
Dang.
So it just won't end up in his poop now.
Wow.
Anyway, sorry about that.
All good. The third song I would like to mention, Barbara Tinoco's "Good Night." So
Yes.
I'm typically very, very hesitant about very wordy, slow songs. I'm very hesitant about that typically, but then you have songs like Mia Dimshit's "Guilty Pleasure" that I think just execute it so well because of just the English language. It's not aesthetically pleasing, but it can be quite poetic. And when I see people from other places where this isn't their native language and they do it well, not only is that impressive, but Barbara Tinoco's songwriting ability. Let's remember she was in FTC, I believe 2020, got second place with that like really travel heavy song. Great, she's an awesome performer. And I didn't think that an English language song would be one of my favorites in FTC this year. That's just not what happens with me. Usually I don't stick to the English language entries, but this one, it is. I love stories. I love poetry. I love storytelling. This hits the nail on the head. Would this be a song that I listen to of my free volition? Probably not 100% of the time because it's just really sad. Like it's a very sad, longing song, and it has a sentiment that I identify with in terms of sadness, but it's perfect in that regard too. It's meant to not be listened to at all time. Kind of like there are some national final songs this year that I would argue you could listen to at any point, and then there are some where it's just like this is the wine from like the secret cabinet. It's like you
Yeah.
got to take this one out when you specifically need to feel a special feeling, and this gives me that special feeling.
Georgios Papadopoulos says Barbara is my favorite song of the year. I'm so obsessed with it. I like it too. It's just like it's just like when it came to me, like when we were doing this, like we gotta be like we've got so much to get through. We have to like kind of be quick with these. I was like, okay, I'm gonna only pick 3 songs and talk about 3 songs. But no, I mean I could talk about every song at Festival de Canção if I'm being completely honest. What else is there? I'm just trying to look. I mean, Georgios. Degrade should have been your favorite song last year. I'm just saying. We have
perfect as well.
Lorendi with I have one word to describe Festival de Canção, natural or organic. Yes.
Yeah.
Everything always just feels so fresh and so
Even
like
the pop
easy.
entries don't feel like overwhelmingly poppy.
No, they don't.
FTC graphics too. Best graphics in the game. Best graphics
Saul
in the
Brown,
game.
agreed
Every
100%.
year. Every year.
Like every year. Back to Lorendi. I love lyrics and story and vibe, and she sells. Unfortunately, I can't say that I love it though. Okay, and that would be
I
for
see.
Barbara.
hmm
I think with this one is this Barbara wrote this song?
Yeah, she has full
Okay.
credits other than just one aspect. I think music was she co-composed, but
Okay.
everything else
Because I
full credit.
know when she showed up at Festival de Canção in 2020, she was not, or whatever year it was, I can't remember. She was not the writer of that one. It's like with Claudia. Claudia did not write the song Unser Lied. That was an
did.
Izora song.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of interesting to see these people come back with their own songs rather than ones pinned by other people. But yeah, those are kind of our first thoughts about Festival de Canção.
Our first thoughts, not our only thoughts.
We will talk about Festival de Canção again in the future. Now let's go ahead and let's go over to some results that happened.
Yeah. So
Norway.
Oh baby.
All right. Anyways, Norway Heat 3 happened. Our results were that Skrillex, Love Again, Alta Peterson with Masterpiece, and Elaine Thorpe with Not Meant to Be were our 3 songs that advanced. What do you think of those 3 that made it through?
So, Skrillex, Love Again. That is that performance very kind of classic Eurovision in the noughties kind of take on it, with kind of Eurovision in the 2010s type staging is what I got. Very very familiar kind of schlagery pop that we would see potentially Norway send in like 2005. I like it though, and I love the like cartwheel that happened. It has the kind of like the average Eurovision blue pink combo thing going on though. The choreography
Highlighting.
also was kind of just I felt like the dance break you cut it down a little more, just a little more. But I enjoyed it. Like it wasn't a bad performance at all. Eileen Thorpe, this one had grown on me quite a bit.
Yeah.
At first, I was kind of like, "Huh, this is kind of an odd song." But once I started like listening to it in full, I realized that I kept singing the song. It is very catchy. I and it's Elsie Bay's writing, which I'm actually
Yeah.
beginning to recognize now. Like it's like, oh wait, this does sound like Elsie Bay. Kind of like the way the melody kind of like sways back and forth. Very
I
much
mean,
her.
with Elaine Thorpe, I think that's the one out of these three I get the most for the qualification of,
Mm,
because like it's kind of James Bondy at points. You know what I mean? When talk about that swing back and forth, it goes between like and then like a James Bond theme, and she was selling it. She
mhm,
was selling that song on stage, so I totally get why she made it through. With
mhm.
Skrillex, it's one of those songs. I have a playlist I'm starting now with Eurovision songs I'm not really into, but when I'm drunk, I know I'm gonna love. That's going on that list. So yeah,
Yeah, well, I mean, like, it would really help if the staging were just what if a little bit were thought into making the staging unique. In my opinion, I felt like that could have
hmm
elevated it quite a bit. But the song itself feels quite. It's just very on the nose for a Eurovision type song, which can be detrimental in a couple regards. But the performance was really nice. I can't dog on that. Atla. So, I don't know if anyone picked up on this, but whenever you hear the song, just listen to the instrumental and think, does this sound similar to Hold Me Closer?
it does.
It does. That's the only note that I have for this.
Yeah, it was
It I
fine. I didn't hate it.
it's
I'm
it's
more upset
man
with what we
it's male
lost.
pop. Yeah, what we
Like
lost. Oh,
what we
wow.
lost.
All
Let's
that we
start with this
lost.
one from Peter Hadich. R.I.P. Freya, a top 10 Eurovision song with huge potential wasted by a bad live performance. Where were the drums? Where?
Eileen took both of the sets.
Um,
Eileen took both drum
honestly,
sets.
I'm not of the opinion Freya was going to come top 10, but I did enjoy it when it was on. I don't think she should have had a cat driven chariot. I would have had one of those if I was singing a song called Freya personally, because you're going to get the nerds in on you.
Mhm.
So yeah, she should have had some
Oh,
cats with
yeah.
her.
Oh, like a big, like, tiger graphic or something, you know?
Yeah.
That would have been quite nice. Like, I like Freya as a song, kinda gives me, Margaret Bergery vibes ever so slightly, but it has it yeah, it was a bad performance. After seeing Freya live, I knew she wasn't gonna make it. I hope she sticks around making music. She has a nice voice. I like the fact that her, composition when she performed was quite unique. I hope she sticks around and comes back next year, but yeah, this performance, it really wasn't it. I knew she wasn't gonna make it.
Yeah. I don't know who's the other one. Who was the one I was sad to lose? Um,
Akuvi?
yes.
Oh, Norway. Oh, cold bread Norway.
Cold bread. So we have more cold bread. I mean, that isn't a we like. I guess the Germanic countries just all eat cold bread for breakfast. I can't even think of anything Norwegian. There was like a Norwegian potato casserole I made at one point. I don't know how else to describe it. It was like potatoes and leftover fish. I got the recipe from some Norwegian kid. It was good.
Oh, that's
Um,
good. I mean, it doesn't sound like it could be pretty bad.
no, it was solid. You got fish and potatoes, make it. Um, yeah, no, I don't know. Like, I feel like she was inventing a song, a genre of like Viking Afro beats, and she served it, and I ate every bit of it. It was
Wait,
so
okay.
good.
Yeah. I agree. I do like now come to think of it, have a little bit of a thought uh like the Afrobeat sound in Scandinavia.
You can
So
say it.
I I love African music. I love an Afrobeat sound. It's just whenever Afrobeats are incorporated or like even African diaspora beats are incorporated in Scandinavian shows, typically the structure of the songs can be too married to a Scandinavian pop song structure. in my opinion. So Stig van Eyck's song, like it's a reggae song, and I really, really wanted to get into it because I love reggae almost more than anything. But the structure was too Scandinavian for me. Like it didn't like it felt too parceled out in sections that weren't supposed to be, like, because I associate reggae with like with certain types of improvisation. It felt too polished, too
Yeah.
refined, and it's like that's not the aspect that I typically look for,
Who was
but
that?
it still sounds nice.
Who was
And
that band in the 80s that made bad reggae covers that like sold really well? What are they called? I know you know who I'm talking
yeah,
about.
I know who you're talking about because of like they had a whole fucking thing with iTunes. Oh, yeah, they had a whole thing with iTunes, but yeah.
UB40.
You
Where is UB40 from? I think they're Scandinavian. I don't want to listen to the song. I don't care. I can't
I
stand
quoted
them.
UB40 in my first novel, and I regret doing that.
I
I
don't know
quoted
what to say
them.
other than I don't know how to feel about that. It was giving me like a UB40 vibe. Oh no, they're from England. Okay, they're from England.
Oh,
Um, I I just know.
I mean, I like the sound. It's a very welcome, like, atmospheric addition in the Norwegian selection because it is really interesting. It is something that we get typically often in national selections, but just the way the show's constructed, the way that each song is treated, this has to have that specific structure, and I don't feel like it completely does the genres justice.
No, it doesn't because Scandinavians need everything to be too polished. That's the biggest
Mhm.
issue I have with Scandinavian production a lot of the time. I mean, like you want a polished pop song, they got you. You
Mhm.
want anything else? Anyways, um, yeah, and I was right. He was wearing a Michael Jordan jersey when he competed, and
So it was
I knew it.
I'll go, okay, Stigma Nike, I'll go to a Bulls game with you because I'm named after Michael Jordan. Let's not forget, I'm actually named after that man.
And he had on.
Michael Jordan and Bailey from Party of Five. Like,
I don't need you to remind me. That's like most '90s name ever. Georgios Papadopoulos. I agree with Lili. I thought she was a lock in that
I thought it would
strategy.
happen. No, I agree. I agree. I thought it would
Mhm.
happen, but no, the public has decided.
All right, so let's take a look and let's see what's happening for their final. Those three,
Yes.
Skrillex, Alta Peterson, and Eileen Thorpe, will be joined by Alessander Mele, Elsie Bay, Jonas Swinget, Ulkri Bonstorp, and Umami Tsunami next week for the final. Um, at this point, let's just go ahead and like we're almost hit the hour mark. And we've got a lot more to cover. We're not even halfway through. Uh,
Oh
real
shoot, you're
quick,
right.
just pick just pick one of those to talk about.
Um, okay. Ulrike, honestly.
I mean, honestly, I would be
Dramatic
happy if this
ballad.
went to Eurovision.
Yeah, like it's ready to go.
Mhm.
It's ready to go. And it's just yeah, Ulrike. She's a conditioned performer.
If I
I
had to
like it,
pick
and
one,
it's grown on me a lot. It's grown on me a lot, I'll be honest. Like I'm an Ulrike stan, so yeah.
yeah. I'm on the same boat as you. At this point, I'm like, just send Enrique. He didn't
At
get to
this
go
point.
before. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if Swing It went. I just find that to be very
Yeah,
charming.
that would be good.
Um,
If they got to Liverpool, it would be good.
I have more songs. I'm like, please, Norway, please don't do this to me. I will have to put you. You will be staying on my shit list at
Yeah.
this point. Norway has to claw themselves back up because I'm still upset about like since 2018 they have been lost in the sauce. I don't know what to say. They just yeah no. Um
I can't disagree with that.
okay. Anyway, just highlighting quick comments here. Peter Huddich Saul says at Saul me too. Let's hope that international jury will kill his chances. Okay, so Saul had said Saul Brown had said Alte's gaining winner attention apparently is popular with Norse locals. I'm getting nervous. And then
I would be nervous
Peter,
too because Norway loves a man doing
yeah,
pop.
they do. The Scandinavians in general love a man.
Doing pop.
Um, and then option Norway should send Alessandra, Olke, or Yone is what Peter Hodge says. Agree on Ulrike.
I agree on Ulrike. Alessandra to a degree because she can perform well. Yona because it's the kind of song that Norwegians like, or at least that.
Every time I hear that song, I just think of like going to a terrible rave at like an anime convention in 2005. I can't get into that song personally.
Very specific.
I mean, I swear, sometimes like the songs that like Euro fans really like get attached to in national finals, I'm like, y'all would have ate up America 20, what, 15, 20 years ago. Y'all would have loved being teenagers over here.
Mhm.
That's all I'm going to say about that. Let's go ahead. Let's move on from Melody Grand Prix to Malta real quick.
And then Lithuania after that.
Yeah, we'll do Lithuania after Malta because Malta's going to be fast.
Yes.
So Malta.
Malta. I'll read them off.
Honestly, this week, all I can think about with Malta is the drama and not the music.
Okay, yeah, can we address that? Because like that's something that I don't feel like a lot of people understand what like actually happened with the whole Maltese delegation, the selection process.
I have notes about that, but it was for my iceberg video.
Mhm.
Let me pull up those notes because they're completely separate. Yeah, I'm gonna say this. I don't like the fact that like I mean, if you get disqualified, you get disqualified. Leave it at that. When
Yeah.
you keep going at your disqualification, you're putting yourself in a bad place. It just comes off as unprofessional. Number one. Number two, you're not going to be competing in Malta's national selection again.
Yeah.
It's just you now made it so that if you get disqualified, you could probably come back in a couple of years. But at this point, they're not going to want you back. And like
Especially with, like, all
they've
the people there
deleted
the
his
same.
performances off of YouTube. They've deleted the clip video for the no, it's gone. And it's like for what? Because like I understand you're upset you get disqualified, but like
Yeah. I mean, at first I was definitely like on the side of his defense. I was Or I mean, like, I kinda, like, wavered because at first I was kinda like, like, is something shady going on?" And then I was on the side of defending him at that point. I was like, "Okay." I mean, like, was he disqualified based on bad grounds? Like, was there something that is causing them to exclude him specifically? Come to find out that the rules were actually very explicitly lined out, and they were actively, what's it called? Actively broken.
mhm,
And, not only that, but to kind of say, "I broke the rules and I got disqualified, but I still deserve to be here, and I will take legal action if I'm not." That looks really, really bad.
yeah.
Like, whatever your intention is, the fact that this was what, like, we ended up reading, it doesn't look good for you. I mean, Malta probably is not gonna want you back, like, in the national selection in the
Mm-mm.
next couple of years, like Lily said. San Marino's probably a better bet, but even then, this made some pretty big news. It caused, like, a big ruckus that I
Yeah.
noticed. So, yeah, it's just kind of an unfortunate situation, and we will not be seeing that song in the national final at all.
And it's a shame because it probably like if he would have just taken it with grace or I think I think I read that he was given some warnings as well.
Mhm. I
You
read
probably
that.
would be winning. Like you've got a lot of goodwill behind you, especially after last year.
Mhm.
Um, I'm just one of those people. I'm like, if I get in trouble for something, even if it's something I disagree with, why I'm in trouble, I just sit there and I take it. Like I know that's not the best thing to say about certain things, but like it's just a song contest.
Yeah. That
It's
comes
not
back
like
every year. Every
yeah,
year.
every year. And you decided, let me make it so I can't come back ever again. It's just like it doesn't sit right with me. And it's just like I'm like
Mhm.
that's the most interesting thing that happened with Malta this week.
Yeah.
If we're gonna talk about music in Malta, um, I like Cheryl Balzan's song.
Cheryl Belle's
Um,
on which one was that again?
I can tell you what she was wearing. She
Yeah,
had
tell me
on
what
like
she was wearing.
it was like a gray tulle dress with like some
Oh
black
my
lace on it and a
gosh.
belt.
Mhm.
It
Okay.
was like kind of like a rocky kind of was it La
Yeah.
La Land? I think is what
La
it's
La
called.
Land, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I found that one to be good and she was great. She was performing the heck out of that song.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, we had the Moldovan what was it yesterday? The
Auditions?
Moldovan auditions. I feel like watching this Maltese quarterfinal situation is watching the Moldovan auditions, but less entertaining. I was thoroughly entertained for her. Like, I'm like, she's ready to go. Give her the final version of the song, and she's gonna sell the hell out of it.
Mhm. I remember that being one of the ones that I thought was interesting from the get-go, and I also wasn't completely disappointed with what she had. There's vision there, and it's important when you see that because, yeah, like, it can carry you quite through, so I hope next year I mean, like, if she doesn't win this year, if next year she returns, she kind of still sticks to that same, like, fire with it.
Is there anyone else you want to talk about personally that stood out to you?
Jessica, unapologetic. It's weird. I kind of like her music. I liked Kaleidoscope a lot. So 2018, Who We Are, I hated that BS. It's me, Jenny B. What you get is what you see, honey. You wrote that, and like you were given 30 seconds. They were like, hold your breath and write a rap verse now.
I mean, literally though, like literally, it was supposed to be Irayo who was supposed to sing that with Jessica, and like last minute they
Yeah.
had a
And then last minute, yeah,
they had a step in with Jenny
Jenny
B.
from Germany came in instead, and that turned out to be quite something special. But unapologetic is it sounds like a Jessica song. Like
It
she has a
does.
special type of writing. I think she's like a kindergarten teacher or something.
I
But
think
she
so.
has a
I know
very
she's a school teacher of some
yeah.
kind.
She has a kind of writing where it's like, okay, this sounds like it could be in junior Eurovision, but in an endearing way. I like her compositions. I don't know what it is. It's kind of like it's kind of like a Tootsie Roll. It's like this is meant for kids, and I wouldn't immediately seek this out, but you know what? It's in my mouth, and it's kind of nice.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just oh
I mean,
goodness.
that's the strongest opinion song-wise I have about any of these songs. I thought I would really get behind Brooke's Checkmate, but that chorus is just so hilariously bad. I kind of like Brooke. Me too.
Gorgeous.
I kind of like Brooke too. Kind of. I mean, are we going to Valeta next year? No. If they diss you on Twitter, don't get sad. Don't be bitter. I used to know the whole thing. I used to be able to sing the whole thing. Now I'm mad I can't like follow up. And
Sorry.
trust me, there was dissing on Twitter. There was some dissing on Twitter.
I love that whole
Hold
and
your breath and write a
it was
verse
but
now.
it was so nice seeing those robots from 2018 grown up at the Belgian national final.
It reminded
And
me of remember how like Apple used to have those like eye dogs?
those weren't Apple, but I know what you're talking about. I used to have one of those. I had a blue one.
Those weren't Apple. Yeah, like it reminds me of those. It's just like, okay, like I plug you into a thing and then you do like this for a couple seconds and then that's the duration of your life.
There
And
you
then
go.
Justice for Valentina, but we needed an Easter egg. Don't give up and be a quitter, show them you're better. Oh my gosh. How would I even describe that flow? How would I even describe that
White.
flow? I, I like the busker one.
I like Busker too. At this
I
point,
don't remember
Busker's
the
my
busker one.
favorite.
Wait, no, I think
The
which one was the
Busker's
busker?
fun. It's like the guys and they have like
Oh.
a party and there's a saxophone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Eh,
Anyways, do you
eh.
have anything else to say about Malta?
Whatever wind may blow, good luck.
I mean, honestly, it's not bad. I'm into it. I'm
Uh,
into it.
from a standpoint of entertainment, yes, but even from that standpoint, I still prefer JEMESC. Like that one is just it feels better to me.
We all do. All right, let's talk about Pabandom Ishnaho,
Woo!
or
Yes. Oh
whatever the
my
Lithuanians were
goodness.
doing because they were back in Lithuanian form.
Mhm.
Back in Lithuanian form.
Mhm.
So we have qualifiers: Beatrich, which like a movie, Monica Linkaita with Stay, Mario Junes with Do What You Do, Matt Lynn with Midnight Train, Petunia with Love of My Life, Agna with New Start, Moon Bee with Rumor, Caprizi with Saw Your Ghost, Donata with Dreamer, and then last, oh, this is going to be the hardest one to
This is
say,
the hard one.
Anti Kravakanai Ninai Kash Provoskio Danitis Sedi Ir Vazioji.
Woo!
I know that's wrong.
I mean, probably better than I was gonna say.
Oh, real quick, I want to just touch on this real quick. Ryan
Ryan
Healy
Healy.
is from Malta. Malta, we don't know results for Malta yet. We won't know results for Malta for like another week or two. Okay, anyways, back to back to Penn. Yeah, I I thought this was a strong selection. I'm not gonna lie.
Mhm.
Out of these, my favorite is Beatrich, like a movie. It's
That one was
so
pretty
much
good.
fun.
It was pretty
It makes me
good.
want a smoothie. It makes me want to go to the mall.
Yeah. Oh, whoa. That's weird. I totally get that. Y'all need to go to an
It's very
American
teen
mall, and
pop.
you'll know exactly what we're
Mhm.
talking about. It feels like a mall hallway almost, you know, where it's
Yeah.
just like, ooh, I want a Wetzel's pretzel.
Oh my gosh, I can go for like an and pretzel, but the cinnamon sugar one.
That is the
And
best
then like,
one.
yeah.
That's legit the best one. You got it always becomes like an American cultural experience for you guys that we give you. But American malls would so take to Beatrice's song.
hmm
I thought it was so interesting. I mean, like, kind of Paramore-y,
Like discount Paramore, but I'm into it still. I'm not gonna
discount
lie.
Paramore. I liked the fact that it felt like a genuine band performance.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like a national final band performance. I don't know how to distinguish the two, like verbally, quite per se, but it kind of felt like this was their crowd. These were their fans,
Yeah.
even if
It
that
was
might not
good.
have been the case. It was so engaging, and
hmm
of course, this is in the final. Like it's good.
It's great. I think it got the highest score.
Mhm.
Um, who else do I want to talk about?
I would like to
Matt
talk about.
Lynn. Oh, sorry. You
So
go
Matt
first.
Len, we no, like let's talk about Matt Len, but I mean Moonbee rumor. Ah!
The
Ah!
song is cute. Okay, it's like a cute little pop song. I just have this thing about performers and the way they're dressed. I want it to suit the song. You tell me your name is Moonbee and you come up to me dressed like it's 1967. You're gonna go
Mhm.
to the Haight Ashbury section because you're on vacation with your parents. You're like, I want to see what the hippies are like. So you buy that outfit to kind of blend in, but you don't really blend in. If you're gonna have an outfit like that, and your name is Moonbee, I'm okay with that. But like, have your song have that same vibe.
No, this song was produced in this millennium exclusively. Like it sounds like it can't go any further back than I want to say like 2007.
Oh no,
Like
I'm not saying. Here's the thing: it's like the song wise, the song's fine. I
mm,
just would have tried. I would have styled her differently.
oh, she went full 1967 styling
Yeah,
completely named. If you had the song on silent and you just watched her perform, you would think that this would be kind of like soft loungy kind of like disco.
like if you're going to San Francisco,
I'll tell you,
you
no
are
nobody out here
to
listens to
wear
that. Nobody
a
out here sings that
club.
song.
It's an old song from like '67 or '68.
Mhm.
They used to play it in Walgreens all the time.
All right, Walgreens. Ain't
Walgreens
nobody.
had some Muskrat Love by Captain and Tennille. Oh boy. If you don't know that song, it's a song about muskrats and love, literally.
How did that even get recorded?
There's a video. I recommend everyone look it up. That's a national final song waiting to
Link down below,
happen.
baby. Did you want to talk about anyone else?
Sorry. Um, Matlin, I feel like I should be on a cowboy, drive like riding to the west. It's very western sounding. I like it. I like it a lot, but like it's occupying that same space Hope had last year with that Stefan had for with the song Hope.
Mhm. It's like you're so close to being Western, but it's just like I can't quite pick up the flavor.
You don't have the
Like
taste of beans in your mouth.
not quite. I don't have a taste of beans and tuberculosis cough. Um, the other song that I would like to talk about in this selection is Mario Jones' "Do What You Do," or Mario June's "Do What You Do." I like it kind of reminds me of like Hovig's Gravity, like Cyprus 2017 in
Yeah.
Eurovision, just how the song functions and kind of the choreography too. But I just saw a big basketball-sized man dancing seductively with like an audience chair. And I was like, this is exactly the kind of thing I want to see. Mario and Gabrielius are probably my faves. Gabrielius would be my fave typically. I really like Gabrielius as an artist. I don't like this song this year. Sauksmas is it's just not for me. But I like him as an artist quite a bit. Mario was so interesting though. That is just a big man dancing seductively, like Sally Bowles with a chair. And
Oh,
I
I
was just
loved it. He
ready
was
to go.
great.
And the song was actually pretty good, so I'm down. Lithuania Magic Mike. Thank you, Ariana.
I mean, hey, I was enjoying every second of his performance. Like, you showed up and you gave me a show. I
Mhm.
appreciate it. Peter Hadich says, I don't like Beatrice song, but probably just not my style. Maybe it will grow on me. When I see the results, it will probably be between her and Ruta, and I would choose Ruta. I'm choosing Ruta too.
I would choose
Like,
Ruta as well.
Ruta is no longer my favorite song of the national final season. Now that I've listened to Festival de Canção.
That'll do it. That will do it.
But she's still up there for me. She's like my
Mhm.
favorite non-Festival de Canção song thus far this year.
Yeah. It would be really nice if Ruta won because I feel like in Liverpool that would it would be a nice like crowd elevator despite it being like a softer, slower song. It would get the crowd chanting along too.
Yeah, I
It
would be
just
so
has that
happy to
vibe
have
to
her.
it. Mhm.
Yeah. Do you have anything else you want to say about
Let me just have a quick glance over here. Oh, Love of My Life. You know me, big dramatic classic ballad. Right up my alley, especially if it's like longing and sad. Ah, perfect. Just what I need.
yeah, I'm a little sad to see IT go. Um
IT. Which one was IT
IT was
again?
the one she came out dressed like a glamorous ashtray. Like
Oh
Sarah
my
Ho's ashtray.
goodness.
Um
Oh, she didn't make it.
yeah, no. I
Mm,
thought she would. I was feeling that one. I thought she was
mhm.
great. I really did. And I was like, she's telling me. Not just because she looks great.
Darn. I mean,
Okay.
to be fair though, Lithuania is pretty hard. Like it's
Lithuania
not
is
it's not that
like
easy.
Lithuania's been up in their game lately.
Mhm.
All
Like the
right, so
last
let's
5 years or so, they've been upping their game a lot.
all right, we're gonna go from Lithuania to their neighbors, Latvia.
Latvia, yes.
And we are gonna be talking about 1 second here. Supernova.
Mhm.
Um oh gosh, I forgot to look up how to say 24 in Latvian. 24 in Latvian. Dot Avina, you said, is the first artist. The second is Adrina Magaline with Like I Wanna. Then we have Alice Hajime with Tricky, Arturs Hati with Love Vibes, Ave 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 with Let Me Go, Inspo with Sway. Eusts is back. He's the last time Latvia qualified with the song Stranger. Katarine Miller with Beaten Down. Louisa with You Hold Me. Why did I write whole? It's
I
You
think it's
Hold
you
Me,
to
right?
hold me. Yeah, you to hold me.
Thank you. You Two Hold Me. I apologize. Marcus Riva is back with Forever. Patricia has Hush. Realm has Fake Love. Saul has. Oh no, Saul's not in this anymore. Why is his name here? He was the one that got disqualified.
Mhm.
I didn't delete him.
Recent development.
Okay, no, that was prior.
Oh, was
Sun
it?
and Lights with Aya, and then Tom's Kaldaraskis with When It All Falls.
Mhm. So
Can
you
I
want me
help
to
you?
start?
Yeah, go ahead.
The first one I would like to talk about, Sudden Lights, Aya. So, I'll be honest, you guys, was not a big fan of Sudden Lights every time prior to this. It just wasn't like none of their songs really hit for me, but Aya is very special. I'm bad at describing rock songs, but this one, I think I'm pretty sure this is the one, yeah, that goes from 5/4 tempo to 3/4 tempo, like in the chorus, verses
Yeah.
versus chorus. I like that. That's really nice, but also the melody kind of gives me Hard Kiss vibes, and I really like the Hard Kiss. I consume them all the time. Yeah, it's my favorite song in the selection. I can't be mad at it, and I'm surprised that it's Sudden Lights this time who has brought that for me.
Hmm.
I'm very much on a rock kick with Latvia this time because a lot of my favorite entries in Latvia have rock elements or are just straight up a rock song.
Yeah. I'm going to just highlight a comment from Peter here because I agree with all three of these songs. So, Peter, Hadich says Latvia has options. They just need to choose well and finally be back. And Inspo or Patricia are my top two. They are my top two as well. Um, I I really enjoy Sway by Inspo. It's got
Mhm.
like that Evanescence esque vibe. I'm into it. Like the contrast between the hard rock music and the soft female vocal.
Mhm.
Patricia, it's like Primal Riot Girl. I'm really into it. It feels like ancient and modern at the same time. The
Which can do
contrast of
so
women.
well at Eurovision. It leaves a lot to the imagination. I like
It's
it when you can hear sounds and it's like you have no idea how it's going to be perceived on stage.
yeah. I'm sorry. And was there anyone else you wanted to bring up?
I mean, you brought up Inspo, you brought up Patricia. Let me just have one quick glance. This is my favorite Marcus Riva song in a really long time.
Yeah, he's actually. I'm like, okay, Marcus. Like, I wouldn't
Uh-huh.
be angry if this is what went. If this is the song that got
Yeah.
him to
Uh-huh.
Eurovision.
This could be the one.
Finally,
It could be.
it could be. It's not bad. Like, honestly, like I was like, maybe I'm being harsh on Latvia. I went back there because I was editing my video for Latvia, like on Friday night, and I had recorded it like a month ago. So I'm not gonna lie, Latvia has more options than they usually do, I think.
Usually, yeah.
And we're on the stage right now where we're only really listening to demos.
Mhm.
Like we don't have the final version of these songs. Um yes, Louisa with oh my gosh, you to hold me. I like that one. I think that one like again it's in the demo stage, but when it comes to the final version that could be really special.
I typically like the Latvian revamps.
Yeah. Like Latvia knows like cuz I know last year I was like what is this to like a lot of the songs. And then when we got the final versions at Supernova, when we actually get to the show, I liked most of them. Like, I think
Mhm.
Latvia had a strong selection last year, and I think they've got a decent selection too. Like, they have options, and that's what's important.
Mhm.
Some countries don't have options.
Some countries have the slots and the rules, but no options.
Yeah. Was there anything else you wanted to say about Supernova?
Not particularly. I hope it's a good show. I mean,
Mhm.
yeah. I'm still
All right,
hurt by Supernova 2018.
this next topic we're gonna touch on very quickly because we don't have the songs yet. But
Mhm.
Melfest comes back next week, so
Yes.
we'll have our first results from Melfest. But we're gonna just talk about the artists performing.
Mhm.
Just to kind of touch on them real quick. Tony Scott, never remember how to say her last name. Tony Sakalias with Rhythm of My Show's back. Lulu Mott is going at solo with Inga Sorger. Then we have Rehan with Haunted. Elo and Benny with Ragangar. Victor Krona with Diamonds. Eva Rogberg and Iwa Rus are back with Lange Levelit. And then Jan Henrik Felgren, Arc North, featuring Adam Woods, Where Are You? Um, Savejan is another one competing. So, just real quick, who are you looking forward to hearing from? What are kind of your basic thoughts?
So, John Henrik Fjellgren, I'm actually looking forward to a lot this year.
Mm-hmm.
S Typically, his Melfest entries can be hit or miss for me, I'll be honest. They can be hit or miss, but when they're hits, I really, really want him to do well, and this is a year where I kind of just have a feeling that I'm really gonna like his song this year. I mean, like and he does really good with features.
Yeah.
Like, his, vocal type, the type of singing that he does, melds really well with Scandinavian pop, and I'm looking forward to how that sounds. Rayhan, I think I heard his voice prior and I was kind of intrigued by it, so looking forward to that. Lulu, of course, such a
Yeah.
character. Tona was my favorite. I think my favorite song coming out of Melfest last year, so of course I'm
Oh,
looking forward
really?
to that.
It's really
I think
schlagery.
so. I
I'm
think
like,
so,
maybe
yeah.
this I just hope it's more age appropriate for her, because I feel
Mm,
like last year her song was just so old feeling. Like, it
yeah.
was like, "Oh, we couldn't get Charlotte Perrelli, so I'll give this to you."
It literally
Um,
is like a Charlotte Perrelli song. But I mean, it's about the way she performed it. It's all
yeah, she
about
performed it well, but, like, that's
mhm.
the styling was
It
matronly.
is
It
it
felt
is
like
very Charlotte Perrelli.
"Oh, we're doing Charlotte Perrelli."
Yeah.
Okay. Um, which I'm okay with, but, like, I would rather have Charlotte Perrelli rather than someone being her, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um,
The Evas, oh my goodness. That's all that needs to be said.
yeah, like, I'm ready for them, like, give them back to me, like, they were a highlight.
Like, Rimmer Rama Ding Dong was that's a song that everyone still sings to this day. Like, they know how
Yeah,
to write a bop for the ages, all ages, and it's perfect.
yeah, literally all ages. And then we have, like, Lulu Lamont. Happy to have her back. I wanna see what she does solo.
I know, it's in Swedish. It's in Swedish.
Yeah. So, yeah, those, like I think this is gonna be I think this is probably the heat. I think they're not calling them semis anymore, they're called heats now. This
Mhm.
is the heat I'm looking forward to the most.
In my notes here, I wrote, the only thing I wrote down was Victor Crone, and I'm trying to remember what it is. I would so yeah, Victor Crone was in Eurovision 2019, you guys. He represented Estonia with the song Storm.
I'm sorry.
Why did I make a note? Do your best. Fighting. Ganbai.
Really? Gunbite? Gunbite? Honestly, I'm gonna say that just a real quick side note. Nothing conveys the emotion like gunbite does. Can't think of an English word that carries the same feelings as gunbite. I feel like it's an untranslatable word. It's like sadare.
Yeah, it is.
Because I will say gunbite to people. They're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, anyways.
Gone by Victor Crone.
Gotten by Victor Crone. I can't.
What?
Oh,
okay.
wait.
Why? Do you have any idea why I made the note on Victor Crone? Do you have any notes on Victor Crone?
My note on Victor Crone is I still don't think he should have won Estee Lauder. We can have that conversation again.
I didn't have a favorite in Estee Lauder that year, and I still think he shouldn't have won. Like I hated Estee Lauder that year.
He literally won because of staging. Oh my god.
He's so hot when he's silent. But he's not Hey. It's not every single one of his songs that has this same kind of cold bread quality to it. Like Derovi Interför, Melfest 2015, that was actually my favorite song in that Melfest. And he did it, and he was featuring a rap artist. And it was so good. I recommend everyone listen to that. Derovi Interför, Victor Crone's 2015 Melfest song. He has not sounded like that since. Since then, it has just been cold bread.
I want to just touch on this real quick too. For Peter Hadich.
Oh yeah, Marcus and Martinez.
Marcus and Martinez are participating. They were like huge fan favorites for teenage girls in Europe. Interesting that their first attempt and they choose Melfest over MGP. Yeah, I thought they were Norwegian. They gave the points for Norway one year, right?
Yeah, they did.
They were like, I likey. I think.
I don't even remember that.
I remember one of them saying, I likey. I was like, can we not?
Weren't they like 13?
Yeah, 12, they're like children. 13? They're like literally children.
Ugh.
I know. A child saying that made me really go, ugh, can we not?
But who knows? I mean, I don't know what they sound like live. I know that they've been really big and for a while too, especially in Norway, because the time that they were becoming big, I actually was stopping listening to Norwegian pop music. It'd be interesting to see how they perform live, because I have heard a couple of their songs in the past, and they can put out some catchy-ish pop tunes.
We'll see what happens.
Good for a teenage crowd.
Wow, I just saw a comment, and you know what? We're gonna move on for a second, but we're gonna stop. Georgios Papadopoulos says, my best friend was such a huge fan of Marcus and Martinez for like 6 years. You know what? That's up there with, I have a friend who unironically loves Jedward still. She is like too old.
Like I felt like someone just grabbed my shoulder when you said that.
I have a friend who unironically still really likes Jedward. Like she sends me on Twitter Jedward memes, and I'm just like, girl, you're gonna be 30 soon. We need to start thinking about settling down and choosing better life choices.
Is it bad that like twins doing music together, singing the same notes is like weird to me? It's a little odd. I mean, I grew up with twins. Twins was something that I constantly grew up with, so it's probably just like trauma trying to revisit itself in a way. But like twins as like an artist, it's not something that happens out here in the States very often. That's probably why I'm not really familiar with it. But
I mean, I'm trying to think.
We do get that instance quite a bit, because we have Twin Melody, we have Jedward, we have Marcus Martinez.
Oh, and the German selection on TikTok, I think 2 of them are twins too. Like
maybe it's in fashion and I just don't know about it.
I don't know, because I
just know my brother and sister would never.
I think of the freaking Collitz twins, and one of them is married to Heidi Klum, and I still don't know how to feel about that. I'm still working with those feelings. I'm like, that happened. What do you want? My dog is saying hello. Okay.
Hi, puppy. So yeah, that's Melfest. Is there anything else we needed to talk about regarding Melfest?
Leo knows what's up. No, we need to focus. I'm sorry. Melfest, we're done with for right now. We'll come back to Melfest next week. Let's talk about what we've got happening with the actual finals and actual songs being chosen this next week. We already talked about Norway. Let's talk about Ireland, because Ireland has choices this year. They actually have choices, and that's amazing for them. I'm so happy. So the national final is at 6. I need to count. 6, yeah. 6 songs competing in the national final. We've got Aji with Too Good for Your Love, Connolly with Midnight Summer Night, Wild Youth with We Are One, Layla Jane with Wild, Kay Mooney and Indy with Down in the Rain, Public Image Limited with Hawaii. Those are our 6 songs. Let's talk about songs.
I do you have stuff to say?
I have positive things to say, okay?
Awesome. Let's do this.
Okay, I'm going to start off with Connolly.
Yes.
I'm going to start off with Connolly, Midnight Summer Night. I know she's really popular with the fandom. On one hand, I love it. It's very atmospheric. It's giving me like Coldplay, but like the Coldplay I like. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. It's like kind of like Speed of Soundy. And I feel like with the right staging, this could really be a moment. Like, but this is very atmospheric, and it's gonna have to have staging that fits it perfectly, or else it's like it's a flop.
Yeah, that could be quite make or break. That is actually my favorite song, I think.
I'm gonna knock this over. Ow!
Oh, hi baby! Oh my goodness! But I agree. It actually is my favorite. That is my favorite song in Ireland so far. For me, what kind of is the drawing aspect of it is like it kind of fades from a Cranberries type song to a Lana Del Rey sound. It kind of sways between those two elements, in my opinion, and it's atmospheric. And I would enjoy it to a degree if it got to Liverpool. It's my favorite song, but I don't feel that strongly about it. I'll be honest.
Yeah. He's massive. I'm sorry. He does that sometimes. He's very big and he can push me around. Sorry. Yeah, I think with it, it's gonna be like, I think it's because the thing is, Sebi, I had a similar feeling to, which is I like the song, but how competitive can it really be? But we got the perfect staging for Sebi, and it made it really like a magical moment.
Yeah.
And so same thing with this one. It's that stage is gonna have to be perfect, and it could really be a magical moment.
Yeah, it could very well be a magical moment, and that's why I kind of like the fact that we haven't gotten a ton of hints on how it's going to be executed on stage. I did listen to all of these songs, and I'm Aji's song I kind of like as well, with aspect of it. If I picture this as like an Eastern European pop song,
Yeah.
it fits that bill of the club banger "Too Good for Your Love." Yeah, Aji's song. It feels like this would be in like Melody Pentry Ropa. Wild Youth, We Are One. Kind of gives me Christian gospel type music. Layla Jane kind of reminds me of LaRue. Kay Mooney and ND reminds me of Madonna's hip hop phase in like the late 2010s.
No,
Public
okay,
Image LTD.
Okay, you know what? Let's go back real quick. I like Layla Jane. I'm not gonna lie. I think that's probably my favorite one out of the whole selection. I just find it really drawn back to it's like this laid back kind of independent vibe, and I'm into it. Like I'm
very much independent vibe, yeah.
I think it really works for me. I don't know how competitive. That's the thing, is I don't know how competitive it would be, but it's my personal favorite.
Are we going to Dublin next year?
No.
Is Ireland qualifying?
Maybe.
I think Midnight Summer Night has a potential, but it's all televote. It's all televote this year. I keep forgetting that right off the bat. Yeah, it's going to be a televote heavy vote. So who's going, like, which song is going to be carried forward the best? And I can't answer that question. Maybe Too Good for Your Love. Maybe. But then again, I can't read these trends. I'm bad at that.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like there's options here, because I think that the reason I'm hesitant to say is Ireland qualifying is because I thought they were showing with Brooke last year.
Yeah.
I thought there
Yeah.
was no way they weren't going to qualify last year.
Mhm.
I think Ireland and Germany have the same problem musically, which is okay. Like we've got more songs this year that don't all sound like they were from 1996.
Mhm.
But like Ireland and Germany both want radio friendly.
Mm.
I
Mhm.
don't know what it's like in Ireland. I'll ask my friend who likes Jedward. She's Irish. Um, but do people listen to the radio still?
When I was in Ireland, that wasn't very common of a thing, or at least the places where I was hanging out. Like,
You know what
radio
I
wasn't
mean?
a massive,
Why are we going for radio friendly when radio isn't what's
it's
like?
streaming. I mean, I went out there in 2019 and streaming was still, yeah, streaming was around.
Yeah,
And
I'm not. I
I
don't
I
know.
don't
I
think
feel
I've
like
heard any radio actually when I was out in Ireland.
I mean I don't know where anywhere where like radios, but they have options. And like you mentioned, is it K Mooney and NK and ND? It's not bad. It's very throwback to like late 90s, early aughties rap, but like not gangster rap.
Mhm.
I'm into it.
Like,
I don't
yeah.
mind it. Like it's like I would listen to this outside of like talking about Eurovision.
I do like that element of it, and it's very different for Ireland, but it's very demo-y. It is
I
strikes me
don't know
very much
like
demo-y.
I don't know if these are the final versions of these songs. Like I would imagine
Yeah,
for
probably
Layla
not.
Jane that's the final version.
For Lili
Um
Jane, it's the final version?
yeah, because there's a music video for it.
Hmm.
Um
Yeah, the other ones, it's
probably
the lyric videos are just like the cover art.
Probably for like public image limited Hawaii, that's probably the final version of that too.
Mm.
Um I'm sorry. I kind of want to go on my anti Johnny London rant so bad. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's his name, John London. I kind
If
of
you
want to go on my
do,
anti
I'm not gonna
rant.
stop you if you do. I'm not gonna stop you if you do.
Here's the thing. I think the song isn't as bad as people think it is, but I don't like him as a person because he's basically just an influencer from the 70s. Like he's an influencer. He's not a music the only reason he has a music career is because of the way he looked. And
Mhm.
like he needs to remember that. He needs to stay humble and remember that. Also I just think it's kind of funny. Could you imagine like 1976 you bought a like Never Mind the Bollocks, here are the Sex Pistols, and someone's like, "Oh, you know in 2023 the singer from this, he's going to try to go to Eurovision." And it's like, "What the hell's wrong with you?" No, he's not. That's all I'm going to say about that because I think it's a funny mental image in my head. It's just a
I
funny mental image in my head to think about.
just I hate the song. Like that
I
was the
don't
first
hate the
thing.
song. I
That
don't
was the
hate the
first
song.
thing I experienced. I heard it in full, and I was like, "Wow, that was that." Like, I 3 weeks were just cut off the end of my life. Like, it was like I seriously felt like this isn't it. Like, this shouldn't even.
I don't hate it.
I hate experiencing songs where it's just like, "Wow, you shouldn't even like be here. This is so bad."
I don't think
I'm
it's that
sorry.
bad.
I'm
I don't
sorry.
think it's
I do think it's that bad.
okay.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna have to defend the stupid song. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm defending this right now. I genuinely don't think it's a song for Eurovision, but I
Mm,
don't think it's a bad song. Like there's a
mm,
difference between a bad song and a song that's just not right for Eurovision.
mhm.
And this is a song that's just not right for Eurovision. It has its artistic merits, in my opinion, but that's
I could
probably
see
because I
that.
know what the subject matter is about, and that's a subject matter that I don't like. I've seen someone go through Alzheimer's.
Mm,
I've seen someone forget their whole family. I've seen someone forget, oh gosh, I've seen someone forget their wife was dead.
mm,
You know what I mean? So because of that, I kind of have a softness for it
mm.
and I'll excuse it, but I don't think it's a bad song. I think it's atmospheric and you have to be in the right mood for it. But like I think people are kind of being too harsh on it as a song. Because
Mm,
it's like he's such a shitty person that like I totally get hating him, but I don't think the song's that bad.
mm.
That's all I'm gonna say. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I didn't I felt this way about the song prior to knowing about him.
Yeah.
So, like, this was something that it was gonna follow nonetheless. But that's also just my opinion, my taste, you guys. As we know, it's very, very hard to make me make sense. So
And I still have this from last week when I was explaining.
at some point, our viewers are going to need to know the deal. They're going to need
Yeah.
to know the
Yeah.
deal.
Sorry. Yeah, no, that's
Ireland.
Ireland. I don't know. At this point, I think Connolly's probably their best bet, but
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. But I do see how a couple of these could be quite fun. Like me forgetting all the names like Agi, I feel like could work. Layla Jane could work. But I didn't like the songs really.
my thing with Layla Jane is why it's my favorite. It is giving me a little, you know what? No, never mind. I don't know. Like it's my favorite one, but like I still think Ireland has some choices that they can make that one be awful.
Better to have choices.
Why are we do I still have things highlighted? Okay. I have to call. Okay,
So
we
from
didn't talk about
Ireland.
Denmark. We were gonna talk about Denmark.
Oh, Denmark, yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about Denmark real quick and we'll finish off on Belgium. So Denmark is a country that exists and
Oh,
they
Belgium or Benidorm?
oh my god, Benidorm.
That's okay. We're finishing up with Spain, you guys.
Yeah, we'll finish off with Spain. We'll talk about Denmark later. I don't feel talk about Denmark right now. And I wanted to. I actually have positive things to say about Denmark.
Me too. I have
And
pretty
there's
positive
Danish
things to
drama
say.
too. You want to just talk about Danish drama in Denmark real quick?
Danish drama. I don't think I'm caught
Oh,
up on the
there's
Danish
drama.
drama.
There's
I'm
drama.
not caught up
Riley's
on the
like
drama.
people are accusing
Tell
Riley
me
of
the
being it.
drama.
And okay, drama. Riley's being oh my gosh.
Oh, Riley, huh?
Industry plant is what I've heard. I've heard song was already performed, like in Korea or something.
Whoa.
There's Danish
So,
drama, baby. Which is weird because it's like this week's been kind of a weird week for drama. But that's I didn't realize who Riley was until I was on TikTok and I was like, oh, this is that kid people were saying was an industry plant. Okay, I've never heard any music from him before now. I know he's from like the Faroe Islands.
oh
Which
yeah,
is interesting.
he's from the Faroe Islands,
Wait,
which
one second.
we don't get, which is not typically when was the last time we had a Faroese artist? I don't remember, but yeah, it's not typical. And
I remember when we had one compete at what on earth was that? Why does it smell like mint?
Faroese would be a nice language to hear in DMGP, but we're not going to get that from this artist.
Oh no, I was gonna say they had a song in Faroese at Sönvakeppnin one year. A couple of years ago. Because it's the closest to Icelandic, so I guess they just let her go. Right, we were talking about Denmark. I'm just getting the artist list pulled up. Smell like mint. Talk. Just buy me some time. You can't buy me time?
Oh, talk, you said. Yes, I actually can buy time. So the first thing I want to talk about regarding Denmark is Maya, beautiful BS, beautiful motion. And if you guys...
Okay, so real quick.
Riley would...
sorry.
Oh, oof.
So he was safe from... They didn't disqualify him. Okay, cool.
Okay.
I know there was talk about possibly getting him disqualified.
Uh-huh.
At one point, but yeah, I was like, oh, okay, I've seen stuff involving him.
I heard some like fleeting news about that, but I didn't know to the extent of which it would happen. You'd think Denmark would have like a better vetting system.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. You wanted to talk about "Beautiful Bullshit" by Maya
Yeah,
Maya?
beautiful bullshit.
It's an excuse to
It's
cuss.
girly pop. It's literally meant for someone like me who grew up as a white girl, and I don't know what else to say. Like it kind of gives me aspects of Pink. It gives me aspects of Saving Jane. If any of you remember her, like Saving Jane, like I was the biggest Saving Jane fan. Why are you looking at me like that?
You grew up as a white girl. Never mind. Some of us.
I did. I'm telling you, I grew up as a white girl.
I thought I did, and then I heard that sentence come out of your mouth. You know who wrote that? One of the Debs wrote that. Joy Deb is one of the writers on "Beautiful Bullshit."
Really? Interesting. Joy, great job, girl. Because that is something that I wanted to highlight. It's just, I mean, it's so typical of a pop song. The only thing that sets it apart is the fact that there's a cuss. But I'm living. I don't know. When it comes to Denmark, I don't. They would never pick a song like this. They always have a song that's kind of like this in DMGP, where it's like this is girl pop, this is kind of avant-garde, edgy, but it's not going to be the one that we pick. And I feel
No,
like this is the song.
no. They'll probably pick, I don't know, what's the worst song in this selection? I have to pick the worst one. You know, I'm not gonna pick the worst one right now because the worst one is actually kind of interesting.
Mm.
But so Denmark wouldn't pick it. I'll instead pick my favorite one to talk about. Soren Topergaard, Lund with Ligaher. I love Ligaher. It's so good. It's so good. Like, I looked into Homeboy. He does musicals.
Oh, that's good.
He's like a
That's a
musical
good
theater
sign.
boy.
That's a
That's
great
a great
sign.
sign.
Yeah.
And yeah, the song is apparently it's a reference to the first Danish Eurovision entry ever. It's like kind of meant to be written
Oh.
as an homage to that, which is back when Denmark was still good.
Oh my gosh.
Um,
The most dramatic kiss I've ever seen on TV.
that was their debut.
Was
Oh
that
no,
not their
that
debut?
was their second time.
I, I, uh, I'm
That
not
was
good at Danish history, y'all.
Nor am I. The only one I can go. Oh yeah, that was Denmark. Anytime that oh my gosh, I know Dance of East. No, the first song. Oh wait, no, you're right. You're right.
Mm. Okay, yeah,
Bertha
that's
Roke
what I
and
thought.
Gustav Skibetska Skid. Yeah, not
That is one of my
well.
favorite Danish songs ever in Eurovision. It's one of my favorites ever. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but
it
like
was
it's
very
meant to be an
long.
homage to that one. So it kind
Okay,
of has like an older jazzier feeling to it. I really am into it. Like I
I
think
respect
that
that.
I and like it's got like a musical theater-esque quality at the same time. It's honestly special. I really think it's one of those songs that's like too special for Denmark, so they're not going to choose it.
Okay.
Um,
I need to listen to it again and have this perspective with it because I didn't take to it immediately the first time I heard it.
See, I didn't have that perspective either, and someone was like, "Oh, you know that this is an homage." It's like, "Ooh, I like it more now."
Mm,
Yeah, no, like I think it's the best one they have, and for me, it's the most interesting musically.
mm,
It's the most unlike what I would expect them to send. Well, not the second most unlike what I would expect them to send, and I know it's not going to win.
mm.
I don't get attached to anything in Denmark because I know how the Danes do.
Yeah, they don't pay attention to us at all. Denmark has better
Laurandi
options.
says Denmark has better options if staged correctly than Ireland. DMGP is overheated this year. Still not great, but definitely uh, not too much to hate. Honestly, I agree with that statement. This is like a stronger year for DMGP than they've
This is a
had.
stronger year for DMGP, and it is stronger than Ireland.
Nothing in DMGP is
It's not unlistenably bad to a point where I
yeah,
want to
nothing's
walk out of the
unlistenable.
room. There are some
It
national selections where I want to walk out of the room at certain songs because it just kind of mentally upsets me.
yeah,
I don't experience that with Denmark this year. I'm not like this is probably the best DMGP I've witnessed,
yeah.
generally just the category of songs.
I wasn't alive in the '80s, so I missed the good ones.
Mm, yeah,
But
this is the
like
best
this
DMGP
is
year.
it's a strong year. Like they have multiple choices. Like Aya, people love that one. It's
I love
good.
that one. Oh my god,
The
so good,
lyrics
so
are
good,
so good. That one's
so
so
good.
wonderfully written.
Mhm.
Um, they got the divorced dad song. I think some people like. Um, oh God, I'm not saying the man's a divorced dad. I'm just saying like
The energy,
it's the music of a
the
man who thinks
energy.
alimony is theft. Um, why should he pay child support if he doesn't have custody? That kind of a song. I don't like it. It's a sound that I just hear and it makes me go, no. And I like rock
Mhm,
music. I just don't like that kind of rock music.
mhm.
It has a feeling of I'm a libertarian. Oh no, it has a feeling of I'm a sovereign citizen. That's what that song
Ah.
has to me.
Eh. Like, I will make this
Um,
trial go on for weeks.
Riley's not bad.
Haven't I,
Um,
haven't heard the song since the first time, so I don't remember how I feel about it. I'll be honest, I
she's
haven't really
really
gone back to
pretty.
Denmark other than the 2 songs that I like.
I mean, yeah, like for me, I think the one I'm missing the most is definitely Ahead. But Denmark has options, which I
Mhm.
mean, good for them. They've got options. We just know they're gonna
Mhm.
probably choose, what was it, Frederick Leopold? I can't even tell you anything about that song. I'm gonna just assume that's the one that Denmark is gonna pick.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, no Copenhagen. We're not going to Copenhagen next year.
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that as well.
Like, I don't want to step on any Legos. All right, let's go ahead and head over to Benidorm Fest to wrap this up here. We're gonna go
Yes,
for like
we're
2
gonna
hours.
close the stream with España, you guys. No se confundan. Okay, so we have the first semifinal coming up on Tuesday, I believe.
Yes, Tuesday's the first semi. We have our competing acts. Go ahead and read them since you're from California.
With my Mexican accent. We have Agoné singing Quiero Arder, Alice Wonder singing Yo Quisiera, Arets Aren singing Flamenco, Fusanota singing Mi Familia, Megara singing Arcadia, Meler singing No Nos Moverán, Sharon singing Aire, Sophia Martin performing Tuki, and Twin Melody performing Sayonara. That is semifinal 1 for Benidorm. Ah. Do you have any thoughts?
You know what? Let's just pick our favorite 3 from each
Yeah.
semi, and we'll do
Okay.
it like we did with that's what the
Sounds good.
Canção.
Mhm.
Semifinal 1. I'm gonna start off by talking about Megara.
Woo, yeah! I was kind of worried I wasn't going to talk about her.
Sorry, I don't know why I highlighted that. Sorry. Yeah, Megara. Yeah, it's a rock song. It's not. I wouldn't expect it from Spain personally,
Mm-mm.
but it does what it needs to do. It's got good energy to it, and it's very much like, you know what I mean?
Mhm. I like the bridge in the song, how it sounds like you're playing like a video game, like those
Yeah,
old-timey video games with like the where you
it's
gotta
the
put a
boss.
coin in and stuff. Yeah, Galaga. I feel like I'm playing Galaga or something. Something really like old and retro, but like tied to kind of just like that aspect of like a grungy machine. It
Mhm,
paints an environment for me. There's a whole atmosphere to the song that I feel like it paints atmosphere a lot more strongly than a lot of the other entries.
mhm.
And the melody is very catchy. It only took
Yep.
me like one time and then I was already humming it.
Yeah. No. What's the first one you want to pick up?
The first one I would like to pick up in this semifinal would be Sharon's Aide. So we, um I don't know why. It might just be because it was the one that came on streaming most of the time, but I can sing almost this entire song now. I it isn't something I would typically like. It's not something I would
Yeah.
typically like this much, but I just do. I just do.
I have a thing. I don't know. It just feels like a drag queen song, which it
It is a
is.
drag queen
But
song, and there's a
I
lot of
know, but
drag
it's
queen
like,
songs this year. There are plenty of drag queen songs,
can
but
we
this is
just
my
have like
favorite.
an
This is my
edition of
favorite
like
though.
drag race where they just like duke it out? Like, I want a Eurovision, all the people competing in national finals were drag queens, like fighting each other. And the judge, instead of like, we had RuPaul for RuPaul's Drag Race. How about we have oh my gosh, what, Verka? Verka's the judge. They have to
Oh,
compete for
has to be.
Verka's
Yeah.
attention and favor.
Good
I think that
luck.
would be a fun show to watch. Um, I'd watch it. I keep accidentally hiding the same comment. I don't mean to. It's fine. It's not my cup of tea personally.
Mhm.
So,
I mean, again, that's only one other song that I'm highlighting in this heat. It's really hard. I could highlight all of these to a
oh, I
degree,
know what
but
you
yeah.
want to highlight. You want to talk about Fusanakta.
Mi primero, primero. Yes, I do.
Great. It's good. It's
Perfect.
fresh. It could win Eurovision.
It could win. Guys, this is my favorite song of the season so far. Until my favorite song in FTC wins, it might not, but until that wins, this song, I'm Spanish, baby. Todo español. Like, I am ready to go. I'm ready to go to whatever
Away.
host city Spain would be hosting in because they're going to take it to the beach because it's summer. But Fusanokta's song, it's so modern. It is the freshest song we have
Mhm.
in the season. This could only have been published in 2023 and the month
Mhm.
prior. I don't know what
It's
else to
like
say. It's perfect.
with people who talk about music, we kind of are talking like people talking about music are talking about the fact there's not really a sound for the last like decade and a half. Like, you can't really point to a song and say, "Oh, this sounds like 2023." Generally speaking, this
Mm-mm.
sounds like 2023. Like, you
Yes.
know what I mean? There's a lot of throwbacky stuff happening in the world, but that one Fusanakta definitely sounds like 2023.
And I have to give a lot of credit to Spanish speaking diaspora music because they have carried the pole, like they have carried the totem in terms of being more inventive with music. I think Bad Bunny and Rosalia are more inventive with music than American artists are. I just think they
Rosalia is
are.
Spanish. She's from Spain.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the
Oh,
entire
okay.
Spanish language body of music.
Okay.
They're being
I'm
more
sorry.
inventive with music.
I thought you meant
Oh,
like when you
oh
said
no,
Spanish, I asked.
not just Latin America.
Okay.
No, no, no. All of everyone like in the Hispanic realm, they are not afraid of taking risks in music, especially with these last couple months and years. You could see that with Fusa Nocta, and you can appreciate it too because it sounds authentic.
Yeah.
Ah,
It doesn't sound like I don't know, it's hard to explain, but like yeah. But my favorite one from the semi is Alice Wonder still. Like I just want to
mm,
say I'm on like Alicia's team with this one. Like this one could win Eurovision. Y'all aren't ready for that conversation though.
you said that like Alicia.
She took over my body for a minute there. She took over my body for a minute there. Um
Oh, it's
yeah, no.
gorgeous. Like this
It's
is
so
definitely
good.
one of the ballads of the year,
It's so special.
without a doubt. Uh-huh.
Like when it's on, it's arresting. It makes me stop what I'm doing and I'm focusing on that. Like
It's the only song of its kind in Benidorm.
it's the only song of it. Yeah, it's the only one like that. It's one of the only ones like that at Benidorm. But in this, it's to me, it's head and shoulders above every other song in this semi.
Mm. I see why. No, I completely see
Like,
why you say
I don't know
that.
what to say other than like there's just it's the atmosphere, it's the voice, it's the composition, it's everything.
It's the longing. Like you don't have to understand Spanish to just truly feel the grit and
Yeah,
emotion in the vocal.
and like that's so important to me. Like if you can convey a message and a feeling with just your voice, and I don't, my knowledge of Spanish is basically "Hola, cómo estás?" Like that's it. I've just exhausted it. Um, like no, but like yeah, it's a good. Like there's it's just everything comes through, and like I said, I think I'm on her team. It could win Eurovision, but
Mhm. I would be really happy if she won, and if she does win, she will do really well. I do get that vibe. I do share that with you guys, probably not to the same extent because of Mi Familia is my kind of like, but no, yeah, it's it's still up there. Alice has a song that can make a big sweep of everything is perfect. It
mhm.
can happen. It can happen. And I could tell by when we first got the announcement, I was like, Alice Wonder, this looks interesting. She looks amazing. This could be up my alley, but I thought it would be too niche. I thought it would just be catering directly to me, but this is a universal song. Alice Wonder is very unique and very special. There's something there. I agree. And if she doesn't win this year, then she needs to still strike while the iron is hot
Yeah.
because she has expertise.
Oh, is there anything else you wanted to talk about in this?
Not from the first semifinal, no.
Okay, let's talk about semifinal two.
Mhm.
So, competing in semi two, we have Alfred Garcia's back with Desde aquí tú estás. Blanca Paloma is back with I'm always feel weird saying that. Um, FM is back with Oof. Famous has La Lola. Jose Otero has Inevet Envianos en Marte.
Mhm.
Carmento with Quiero el Duelo. Lucky Ripper with Tracion. Ciderland has Kayascati Dot. And then Vico has Nochentera.
Mhm.
So, do you want to talk about one? Pick two or three. Same thing.
Yes. Okay. So, the first one I would like to talk about, Carmento Quiero y Duelo. So, just reminding you guys, check out Augusto's interview with Carmento on the site. We will be linking it down below. This
It's
song
already
is
down
so
there.
special. It's so special. Like, I love so. We talked initially about the song and how it paints so adequately placed. Like, you could tell that this was produced in the highlands of Spain. It just has that richness to it. It has that flavor, that emotional carry. And I love the fact that when Carmento described that she was writing this
Mhm.
song, it just came to her. Like, so this like
Uh-huh.
descended from the heavens and was just supposed to be as it was. And it is
Yep.
perfect. This is
Yep.
a song that I musically think is a perfect song. It's great. It's in my I believe my top 3 of Benidorm without a
It's
doubt.
my favorite one in the semi. Like you picked
Mm.
my favorite one of the semi to talk about
Ah.
first. Fabulous, fantastic. Everything about this is perfection. It's arresting. It makes you
Mhm,
stop. And like I said, like Alice Wonder makes me stop and it makes me focus on that.
mhm,
Carmento makes me stop, makes me focus on the focus on the performance. With the
mhm.
right staging, again, I think this is another one that could win Eurovision. Um, I think like these are the two. These two, um, For me, I get that same feeling. I don't get it as strongly with Carmento as I do with Alice Wonder,
Alice.
though.
Mhm.
But it is a song that I feel like could really, really stand out positively in Liverpool.
Yeah. And not to mention, I mean, like, I think I saw a music video of her. She's a visual performer as well. Carmento sound really stands out for me too. It's the only one of its kind, really.
Mhm.
Like, we don't get folksy soft songs anymore in Spain. I mean, like, with the exception of Blanca Paloma, but her vibe is completely different.
Yeah.
Nowhere near the same.
Yeah, Blanca Paloma's vibe is very, I don't know how to phrase it. Um, yeah,
What song did you want to talk about?
I have to pick something. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna make it a little different here. I'm gonna go oof.
Why did I have a feeling you were going to say that? Okay,
I
tell me
love
about the
it.
song. Tell me like about the song.
It's so girl group. It's so like it makes me want a smoothie. It makes me want to go to the mall. Okay, like
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that.
it makes me want to do that. Like specifically, I really want a smoothie now. I should make a smoothie later.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, it's giving me it makes me want a smoothie. That's what we're gonna call it. Like it makes me want a smoothie. I don't have more thoughts to say besides it just makes me nostalgic for being a teenage girl. No, it
Um,
makes me nostalgic for being a preteen girl.
okay, as a preteen, I could definitely see myself quite get into this.
Yeah, so you know what? I don't care what you say. I love it.
I was just gonna say it kind of sounds American Song Contesty,
A
you know?
little bit like the California song.
Like Sweet Taboo. Like it kind of sounds like
Yeah.
it could have been sung by Sweet Taboo. Don't hate the song. I don't hate the song, but I'm curious as to why so many people take to it because I don't quite feel like I've accessed that final bit. Don't hate it, but I don't quite like it yet either. Maybe I'm just waiting for the live.
You know what? You grew up as a white girl and you don't understand why oof goes off. Okay. Like I think I need to take your white girl card back. Like
No, don't. It's the only thing I have. I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm so sorry. Anyways, the next song I would like to highlight Traction, Racky Ripper. I used to hate hyperpop, you guys. I used to be like, this is trash. This is basura garbage. And now it's just like, no me digas que no. Like I'm all about. I made my window shake. It's like I'm all about it. I really like it. I don't know if it's because like I'm like a Gen Z teeny bopper who's all about like yay destructive industrial sounds and music no matter the cost. Excellence, excellence. I think it's so catchy. It sounds like you know how like those old like Barbie phones. It reminds me of that. Like those
why
toy
is that the
phones.
perfect summary? It's like
It's a toy phone
it
sound.
sounds like a Barbie phone. Agreed. Agreed with that statement. I have no additional comments. It sounds like a Barbie phone is like the perfect explanation.
Like if you condense that entire song into just like 2 seconds, it would be the Kim Possible jingle. Like it would literally just be that.
Yes.
If
Yes.
you smushed it down into just 2 seconds, it would be just that.
It makes me like a jump on a couch and get screamed at by my mom. Um
Yeah.
so it kind of gives me that like let's go back to being a preteen vibe.
Mhm.
But it does not make me want a smoothie. That's a test.
It doesn't
That's a
make you want a
test.
smoothie.
Do you want one? What type of smoothie do you want?
Matcha.
As a smoothie, that's a frappe.
It's not a frappe. Ugh,
It's like it's matcha and milk.
please.
You
No,
know
like
what's really good? If you
matcha
put
and
matcha
lime.
powder in lemonade.
I've never tried that.
It's
That
really
sounds
good.
delicious, though.
It's
That
really
sounds
good.
amazing.
I don't know. I kind of specifically want coconut. I'm gonna do
Mhm,
coconut milk.
mhm.
Um, some right downstairs. I think I'll do coconut mango today. That's what I'm kind of thinking.
That's always a winning combo.
Yeah, maybe some strawberries if I have some left.
Hell
Ooh,
yeah.
some peaches. I think I have peaches. We'll have to look in the fridge and see.
Mhm.
Uh, I'm thinking about smoothies. Okay. Right. My third song is another shocker. I want to talk about Alfred.
Oh yeah, huh? Desde que tú estás. This one has picked up a lot of traction lately. It has. No, it has though. I
I
mean,
know,
like,
the way you said it, the way you said it.
I mean, Augusto can vouch for me on this. This is definitely okay. It's not definitely better than his Eurovision entry because I still kind of like that. I'll be honest. I still kind of like Tu Canción. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I don't care. I don't care.
I can't talk about that song right now because we've been going for 2 hours, and you
Oh
guys don't want an
goodness.
additional 2 hours of me talking about how much I hate Tu
But
Canción.
you can go on for 2 hours about
I
how much you
can. I can. Like,
This isn't that though. Desde que tú
no,
estás
it
it
isn't
doesn't
that at
sound like it
all.
at
This is
all. Like,
actually
not at
good.
all.
This actually has merit to it.
It's a definite improvement.
It's a good song for starters. I don't have to watch a terrible reality TV show to get it. That's the number one reason why. But no, it's just really good. I find it to be really emotional and really arresting.
Mhm,
And when it's on, I find myself, okay, let me focus on listening to just this right now. Like I
mhm,
don't have to do anything else. I can just listen to this song.
mhm, and his voice too. Like, I keep forgetting how unique his voice is. He
Mhm.
has one of the most different voices of the males in Spain that I've heard. I'm really glad that he's able to showcase it more with this song. But I still don't quite feel like I have the, keystone on this song yet. This is another one of those songs where it's just like, there's a lot that I like about this, but I just need that one little bit to kind of complete the rest of it. So I'm waiting for that, but I'm pretty sure the live is gonna give it to me.
Yeah. No, I just when I hear it, I want to listen to just it. I don't want to think about anything else. I want to just focus on the song. I think that's what makes it strong for me.
Mhm.
Um, composition is beautiful, and his voice is so unique and different. Like it's not like anything else.
Yeah. He does have a special voice, and I think he's gonna do very well in this. I feel like he is gonna qualify from the semifinal and do very well in the Benidorm final.
I'm gonna just highlight this comment from Augusto real quick. Alfred came back to the scene and to scene really being himself, and I love that for him. This feels authentic to who he is,
Mhm.
unlike the other song we're not gonna name.
Unlike your song as it is translated in English. But wow, okay, we finally got through everything, you guys. Could you believe that?
Gosh. And
Oh
yeah,
my goodness.
if you want to listen to a song called Your Song, listen to the superior song called Your Song.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about your song. That is like one of the Easter egg songs.
Okay. Anyways, so that was it. Guys, thank you for bearing with us. We got through this after 2 hours.
Mhm.
About an hour longer than we meant to go, to be perfectly
Hey,
honest.
we had all the topics though, so
And next week is gonna be another crazy busy week.
mhm.
Next week we cannot go on for 2 hours. So I gotta be out. Like I'm not gonna be at home next week.
That's
I'm
all
not
right. We will have a timer. We will make sure that we will make sure that everything is nice, neat, and tidy for next week. But thank you guys
exactly.
so much for watching this stream. We want to know your topics on what's going to happen in Norway this next week, what's going to happen with Benidorm,
Yeah.
all of the national finals that we talked about pretty much today. So don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to us on the YouTube channel.
You know, I think like on the YouTube channel, I'll probably put a poll up. I'm just kind of curious as to like where things are going to be going with the national finals. So I'll
Okay.
have a little thing going in.
Do the
Um,
activity, do your homework.
yeah. So yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm like spacing out. What am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to say? Right.
You can also follow me on Twitter and TikTok. We have
You
a
can
script now, you
also
guys. We have
follow
an
us
actual
on
script.
Twitter and TikTok, Eurovision Fam, on all the socially places like Twitter and TikTok. I'll post.
Mhm.
We need to post more on TikTok. Um, also, don't forget to go to EurovisionFam.com. Link in the description box. I'll put it in the cards too. And there's like the links to the articles, which were interviews with
Carmento and Alice Wonder.
Armento and Alice Wonder.
Mhm.
And this week, I think we're going to be getting another article. So if you don't know how San Remo works, you can learn.
It is pretty complicated, so it does help to brush
Yeah,
up.
yeah, it is. So yeah, thank you all so much. We hope you're excited for next week, and we will see you again soon.
Bye, guys. See you after the
Bye.
shows.
Oh my gosh, no, I don't. I'm struggling. Stop. Don't laugh at me. Don't laugh.